Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third salad stream. So, this is our monthly podcast where we discuss all sorts of topics, such as we've previously discussed horror movies, we've previously discussed cult movies, and in this time we are going to discuss Western-style 2D animations, cartoons. And joining us today, we're going around the house, is our overlay-in-chief, A Design. Say hello.
Oh, hello. I'm A Design. Do you want more than that?
Yeah, yes, as much as you want to give.
I was brought into this last night, so like last month, super unprepared, but looking forward to it.
Sort of a last minute entry. Then we also have our purple-haired mistress of the dark, Shiny Cat. Welcome to the stream.
We also have a shiny ducky today.
Yeah.
And a shiny ducky is joining us as well. So, the better half, would you say, Shiny, or
The different half.
the different half? There we go.
The nicer half.
The night. Because normally when I discuss my wife, she's always the better half. So, and then we also have our Halloween maestro. So if you're watching on stream, he is literally living it up in Halloween Town. And this is Weejon Gaming.
Hey, happy Halloween, bitches!
Happy Halloween.
It's all week for me. It's all you, baby. This is normal. I'm just gonna leave this up.
You should. You really should.
I'm gonna get a bigger projector.
Yep. So if you're listening to this later on, Weejon actually has a massive projector of zombies on his back wall.
What? They're not real? There's not a window behind him with people trying to get in? Never.
Shh.
The illusion is gone.
Don't break the immersion.
Outside of a chicken shop, and they're all drunk people, not zombies.
Looking for your gulp ramen.
Please open up again. We want more food.
Wow.
So-
Bow buns.
The topic this week, although it's cartoons, which is unfortunate when I was doing the planning, because if I knew that this was Halloween it would land it on, I would have probably taken something a little bit more spooky. But this was planned quite a few months in advance, so I blame myself. And as Professor Lettuce, as the host of this show, because I don't think I actually introduced myself. I just thought this was, by and large, something I would do. So hopefully you all are prepared in some way to discuss cartoons. But let's have a discussion is the fact that it is 2D animation that we're going to be discussing, not 3D animation. And it is of a Western style, so not anime. So,
Correct.
or back in the day, what it used to be called Japanimation, which is during the 80s and 90s, it used to be called Japanimation. I actually had to check that up. Yep, a bit controversial. So, how I would like to think about it is that this is such a broad topic because we have the 80s, the 90s, we've got modern, stretching from like Hanna-Barbera and Disney cartoons all the way through to some of the sort of Netflix stuff. Like I've been watching Inside Job this week, which has just had me decking myself. So I can warmly recommend that. So what I would like to do is we're going to start a bit earlier. So we're going to talk a bit. So from the old farts perspective, such as myself, from about the 80s or so, and then we'll kind of work our way through to the sort of the 90s and modern. Oh, come on, Shiny. You're like 16, so.
I'll take it.
And then I would like to finish off on a little bit of a quiz. So I've got 25 questions. So you can test your knowledge and you can play on stream as well. You can help out your community can help you out.
Oh yes.
So Shiny,
Curtis.
you're a bit quiet or muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, I want Curtis to come into the chat. He's the brains.
If you guys win, I'll give you all 1,000,000 Chinese.
Actually, yeah, I'll bribe you as well, guys.
And if somebody wins, I will gift 5 subs to whoever wins. Straight up. All right?
Ooh.
All right, let's put the stakes up on this
You
one.
haven't already gifted subs to us already.
I know,
Yes.
I can't help it. It's like
You've been too kind.
to everybody.
Everyone, you mad
Right.
bastard.
So let's start in the nostalgia zone, shall we? So starting in the 80s. So we'll start off with, this is cartoon / toy area, shall we say, because of the amount of toys that were produced during the 80s. Is pretty much every single show was either a toy and then made into a cartoon or vice versa. Yeah. So is there any show, let's go around the house, in the 80s that you thought was, cartoon-wise, was the best or something that you really enjoyed and was obsessed over when you were small?
Transformers. Robots.
Transformers? Yeah.
Transformers. 100%. Yeah.
Why is that?
The 80s cartoon. It's weird, to start off as well. Okay, to start off, growing up in Germany, we had one channel that had English-speaking cartoons on it. So
SSVC.
SSVC. It was SSVC. Yep. We had one channel. The rest were all in German, which, as a small English child, I just didn't understand. And so I only had things like Transformers and Visionaries, and that was it. When it came to late 80s, it was just Transformers and Visionaries. And Visionaries is okay if you like. I think I was too young to appreciate the kind of D&D medieval 80s that existed. So for me, it was super like spaceships and lasers and robots. So to me, it was Transformers. But then when I moved to Scotland, and we had things like a whole 2 channels for kids' TV after school, BBC One or ITV or CITV. I think I was past that stage where things would like be in my head as the pinnacle of 80s TV shows. Also, I moved here in the 90s as well, so that's another thing as well. So it's basically because it's the only thing I had to watch as a child. That was a good older age one that wasn't kids' TV.
Did you have any toys?
I had all the toys. I had so many Transformers. It's just like me and all my friends all had Transformers. Like it's just what you played with. That or Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles toys. That was like the 2 toys that I think the toy collections I would add as a small child. Especially when I was in Germany. That was the things.
Did anyone else have any toys from the cartoons that they watched as a kid?
Maybe He-Man. Yes. I had also. Did anyone remember Dusty Bins?
Yes.
I had
No.
a Dusty
I do,
bin
yeah.
full of He-Man.
Oh yes.
A whole Dusty bin full of He-Man. I didn't have any of the big play sets. It was just He-Man, all the fucking He-Mans. I didn't get any of the She-Ra range, but I got the Evil Horde, and I slept with Grizzlor every night. Grizzlor was my teddy bear.
Grizzlor.
Yeah, Grizzlor. I got them all recently, a few years ago at a convention, and I donated them to my tattooist. So, and I also got Snake Mountain. So my tattooist now has Snake Mountain, Hordak, Grizzlor, Mantena, in his tattoo studio.
I remember Snake Mountain sitting in our living room for about 6 months while you were doing it up.
Did you
Yeah.
repaint it?
No, I
It's-
ended up just
it's-
giving it. I ended up just
Good
dusting it
clean.
and giving it to the tattooist.
It needed a good clean. It was like
But-
30 years of grime on top of that thing.
It was in a garage somewhere, and just the guy at a convention was like, "You like He-Man stuff? There you go." And like when I came into my stall the next day, it was sitting on my seat. I was like, "If I fucking take Snake Mountain." But yeah, I was looking on eBay to replace all the bits that were missing, and all the classic bits. I don't fuck that. That's too expensive. Too expensive. So yeah, my tattooist has got it now. I got some ink off it, so it's all good, and I can go see it anytime I want. It's 10 minutes away.
Like it's
Yeah.
like you've given
Yeah.
away.
There we
Say
go.
hello anytime you
Shiny.
want.
To the shiny crew. So what happened in the 80s with you guys then? Did you have toys and watch a lot of
I was born
cartoons?
in '87, so but he.
I would say you've taken both my majority of toys play sets with your Transformers and your He-Man. I genuinely thought I was going to get with He-Man, but I think the toys that I remember collecting most were from Mask, which obviously is ripping off the Back to the Future car. And you're thinking, nowadays logic, the gull wings open, you make the air, they rip off spectacularly because the DeLorean wasn't that well made anyway, and this car will come plummeting down. But I remember loving the Mask toys, and they're a bit like Transformers, but they turn from one vehicle to another vehicle. And none of them were that logical, because you're thinking, if you have got an attack helicopter, why are you going to need that screen van? But they did change from one thing to another thing. But I always kind of like that. But yeah, I had a load of Transformers, and again, I had a load of He-Man. He-Man, incredibly amazing cartoon, and even re-looking back at the cartoons back then, they were fantastic then, and they are still fantastic now.
Life lessons at the end of every He-Man episode as well.
Was that okay? So those cartoons, were they not G.I. Joe rather than He-Man?
Yeah, I was He-Man over G.I. Joe. I didn't actually have any G.I. Joe.
Because
kid.
I remember
had
G.I.
Action
Joe
Force.
cartoons. Action Force. Because I remember G.I. Joe cartoons when I was younger.
G.I. Joe Action Force, it's pretty much the same.
Is it? Yeah, I'm so confused.
Because yeah,
Was it
Yeah.
G.I. Joe, Real American Heroes, or something
oh
like that?
Joes. But yeah, the toys were called in the UK Action Force toys.
Action
Yeah.
Man, I believe. They were an action. Weren't they an Action Man derivative?
They were based, I think, originally from Action Man.
G.I. Joes were like this size, and Action Men were like
It
this
was all the
size.
toys that made us, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
But me and my friend used to take the wee screw out the back when we found out we could get
There
wee
was
screwdrivers.
screws. There was
And then
screws
we
at the
just
back, yeah.
we swapped all the bodies and arms and heads around, and sometimes we wouldn't put the screws in, and we'd throw wee things so the guys would explode.
Nice.
I was a Teenage
down the
Mutant Ninja
spine.
Turtle fan. That was my
I
thing.
had a lot of turtle toys.
So I had quite a few turtle toys, but even though I had them, I was still in it. As most boys were, He-Man. So He-Man was the killer for me. It's like you're running around the kit, just sticking a hand up and going, "I have the power." But it's amazing how much the cartoons. Yeah, oh, look at them! So there we are. There's the turtles. So how much the
I can't-
cartoon helps us?
I can't actually admit to getting these as a fan of the show. I stole these in my divorce.
Hide them quick. You get some kind of subpoena through the door soon. Just be like,
But I mean, for our sake, I mean, most of the 80s. I mean, that's like up to some of us up to the age of 10 at the most, right? And for me, I mean, I was 81 when I was born. So yep. So a lot of the cases is that, and I was also brought up in Germany, so SSVC was also my only portal to cartoons. So whatever the British military have decided that was okay for kids to watch. which happen to be massive brute men in all different different types of forms, I guess.
Naked.
Half naked,
Muscly and half
muscly.
Oh no! Now I have a question, but I don't know if it's appropriate.
Go for
Nothing's
it.
inappropriate here.
No, this is open.
Given how much of the panel doesn't identify solidly as a heterosexual, how much fault do you think that is of He-Man?
No.
He-Man was a bit of a sexual awakening for me as a child, I'd say.
Because
No.
I've heard that from
No.
He's
No.
quite big pecs, little
No.
six-pack,
really.
blonde bob.
No, I don't know if there was a correlation because it's a weird coincidence that like yeah.
No. No.
My psychology brain would be remiss if I didn't ask it.
I'm sure like it'd be more likely if you're a big fan of She-Ra that you would
God,
be
shit.
one of those homosexuals.
Just the characters in there were just. Oh, God. Oh. I don't know half of them have fucking lived.
See, I'm so young I didn't watch Thundercats until the reboot on Netflix.
And that's
I
just as
watched
bad.
Thundercats
It's
as a
like
kid,
massive
yeah.
muscles on everyone. And even the, what was it? Chitara, I think was the name of the female in the group.
Yeah.
The random token woman that they put in almost every show.
The Smurfette of the show.
Yeah, that they seem to put
No,
in.
you got Wily Kit.
Although
well.
actually,
Yeah,
saying that, in the reboot of He-Man, the female lead, Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Yeah.
is everything. Like,
Mhm.
no spoilers, obviously, but please watch it.
It's awesome. I did like
Oh,
it.
good.
I know we're skipping ahead a wee bit, but I did like it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to come to that because that's been quite a controversy recently. So there's been quite mixed opinions on that one. But that's a very good point. I mean, a lot of the sort of early 80s sort of action cartoons were all sort of very masculine of the popular type.
Mhm.
So it could well be that there is quite a lot of probably blame that could be set on some of the things. Even with He-Man's at the end of every episode have a moral tale, or Mask having a moral tale, there could be something said to sort of more toxic masculinity that could have come from this early period of masculine cartoons. But even then, there was a tons of stuff in the 80s which wasn't. I mean, going back, watching some of the older stuff in the 90s when I finally got access to different things like Pigeon Street, for example, or we're talking about some the family Ness in the 80s, or
Oh yeah.
yeah. But I've been
Wait.
watching a lot of cartoon stuff over the last few weeks to get ready for this. So yep.
Oh, the family. I'm sorry. That's like, yeah. I remember like really crap summer holiday ITV, I think, kids cartoons like James Bond Jr.
Here's one junior, yeah.
Yeah, and then there was another one that was like a girl who dressed as a boy to play football. I can't remember the name of that, but they were literally that one time, that one summer holiday, and I've never been able to find them again. Oh.
Because there was a lot of innocent sort of stuff that was also sort of produced as well. So we can't put it. They weren't the most popular, and they certainly weren't designed to sell toys like Transformers or He-Man or any of these sort of things that we saw. Because I certainly never saw a family Ness sort of plushie toy or a play set or any of these sort of things.
I want one now though.
Because I
You
quite
make it
enjoyed some of
happen.
them. Yeah, let's make it happen now. Yeah. Re-emergence, reawakening of family Ness. Be careful,
You got
angry
with
Ness is
Family Ness,
coming.
it reminds you of being like on par with like, is it Banana Man?
Oh,
Yeah.
Bananas in pajamas as well. No, that wasn't
Yeah.
animated. Never
That
mind.
was animated.
Later on, it was.
Banana Man has this kind of, I don't know, Family
Whenever he
Ness,
eats a banana,
like-
something
like-
happens to him.
British animation, not quite amazing
Becomes a
quality
man.
vibe.
Oh no!
Sort
I'm
of
just looking back at this.
BBC
Actually, looking
approved
back at it, it's quite
animations.
problematic. You see approved, what?
Well, so BBC sort of animations that they sort of, it's the British style animations was very much, remember, if we're thinking 80s, we're thinking conservative Britain, we're thinking these ones are allowed, has that line that you can't cross on,
We've missed one really important. Danger Mouse.
Danger
Actually,
Mouse.
Danger Mouse is sorry, because this is one of my favourite cartoons. The last episode was done actually in the 60s.
Oh,
Really? Is it that old?
Yeah, it's really old.
I remember being old when I was really young. Like, I didn't watch it because that's what like my parents watched, and that's why I didn't
Sure, it
watch
was
it.
Danger Mouse.
It's kind of like old
Aaron
person's
Greenback.
Oh
cartoon.
no, I'm
Baroni.
confused with Mighty Mouse. I apologise. But Danger Mouse was awesome with his little eye patch.
I kept
It's
getting
surreal.
pinfold at school at points.
Well, I
Does
had
not
an eye
surprise
patch
me.
for a while because I had like a squinty, wobbly eye. So I went to school with an eye patch, and I used to go around pretending I was Danger Mouse because I'm short and annoying.
And a
But-
mouse.
A lot of things sort of moved on though from like 80s to 90s because that's when the American sort of animation really kicked off in the 90s in a huge way. And then that's where we started seeing things such as Nickelodeon and basically Cartoon Network started coming into its fame. Yep, and we're pointing at Invader Zim. There we go. So we might as well bring up that one because you've been raving about Invader Zim, Cat, for like since it was mentioned.
It's my favourite cartoon. I watched it for the first time when I was 17, so obviously I didn't watch it when it first came out because we didn't have access to Nickelodeon. But I bought the DVD box set on the advice of like I think the boyfriend at the time. And oh my god, it's brilliant because it's a bit dark. And like Vasquez, who's done all the stuff, he's now done comics since and before, and they're really, really quite messed up. And Nickelodeon ended up getting a load of complaints because of how messed up some of the episodes were. But it's so funny. And I love Gurr. And apparently, if you watch Invader Zim and then you meet me, I make a lot more sense. But it's just the breadth of characters and like the weird absentee father and like the diabolical villain, and it's just it's so good. But I think the other thing that leads into why it's so brilliant and why I love it so much is that it literally only got a couple of seasons. They didn't overkill it. It was still really good. It ended at quite a punchy point, and then obviously when we got a film, it was last year on Netflix. We got the follow-up film. It was so nice. It was so good. But that is my favourite cartoon. But I am a 90s cartoon girl with Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men, and Superman. They're the alive and kicking on a Saturday was my cartoon sort of input every week.
So was this sort of like a Saturday morning thing for you, or
things like X-Men and like all those kind
Yeah.
of shows. Was it Gargoyles? Like the Saturday morning 90s shows are definitely what I would see my childhood as, rather than the 80s ones. Because I'm not an old man like you.
I don't know. I really came into, I think, even though I watched a lot of 80s stuff, I mean, 90s is where I really started appreciating the artistry, I think, of animation. I think before, yeah, fair enough with sort of Bugs Bunny and the sort of more Hanna-Barbera and Disney and
Flintstones
and these sort of stuff.
Ronnie Quest.
Meet George Jetson.
But when it came into the 90s, that's where I really started enjoying cartoons. And I think, John, you mentioned to me earlier in the week that I think it was the real Ghostbusters you wanted to talk about, was it?
Oh,
God.
shit. I forgot about John being obsessed with this. I've totally forgot. We watched, remember when I first moved to Edinburgh, we watched like a box set of the real Ghostbusters.
You
Like,
had no choice.
That's right.
like the first week I lived here. Yeah. I remember that.
Ghostbusters.
Well, see, I have to like a cartoon top is a cartoon face of my face.
I think toy collection wise, it was He-Man, Turtles, and Ghostbusters. I think Ghostbusters was almost as big as my turtle collection. And I wasn't one of the kids that had the big thing like the Snake Mountain, the Ghostbusters HQ. Never had any of the Optimus Prime's truck. Never had any of the big major sets. Just all the other things. I remember Granny Gross, the old lady, and you just like and just like bleh, bleh, and the toilet, the fearsome flush.
I remember the toilet. Yeah, remember that.
And like you got a wee ghost with every Ghostbuster. You get a wee ghosty.
I had
So
actually had a helicopter that was a real Ghostbusters helicopter that you held the back of it and had like a trigger. You pulled it and that made the propellers go. So imagine like a handgun, but with a a helicopter on the end, and you'd fire it and the propellers would go. And I had that in my bag while we were coming on holiday to Scotland, and we were stopped by security because they thought we had a gun in our bag. And my mum will always remind me of this story. Like every year I get reminded of this story, that my little Ghostbusters helicopter held us up at the airport for like half an
Armed
hour
security.
while we were being like taken aside and searched because it had a gun handle and it was in our hand luggage or something like that. Yeah, that was a Ghostbusters toy that I had.
Actually, what I should have, the toys, instead of the turtles, though I love the turtles because they sit on my shelf, what I should have taken off my ex-husband, he had the original Ghostbusters
Oh, the proton pack.
pack and the thing you throw on the floor with the foot, and it all worked.
Yeah.
And he had that. And he had, there was a picture of him, like, the boiler suit that you could get from back in the day. But he had one of those dustbin things that you were on about. It was a Ghostbusters dustbin full of basically Ghostbusters and turtle stuff. And I've never seen so many toys for one cartoon in my life than I have for Ghostbusters. I didn't have any, but I've never seen so many in my life. I was like,
I had a pair of Ghostbusters trainers, and the shoebox came with like a top you can cut to make it into the little, like, whatever it's called, the little machine they throw on the floor and it sucks the ghosts in.
Yeah.
Trap.
The trap, the ghost trap. The shoebox came like that with like the yellow and black striped top and things, and you can cut it. It was like pre-perforated, like a napkin box type thing, and you opened it up, so your shoebox became a toy. That's the toy I had. Like some poor child, I had a little cardboard box as my Ghostbusters toy rather than an actual toy.
To touch on Matt's mask thing, I actually remember getting my mum to keep all the cereal boxes so I could make my own mask, and I remember writing down its own special abilities and trying to construct this, and I was like so fucking young. It was, God knows what it looks like thinking back at it, but yeah, I was like, I want my own mask. I want to be Matt Tracker. I think I did like weird Sonic things or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's like the cartoon infected me that much. I wanted to construct. It got my arts and crafts brain going. I wanted to build something.
And look at you now.
But it's do you think that the animations of the sort of these periods have sort of really inspired you in some way? Creativity, or has it
Content?
just the content?
I don't
Just
think
stories.
So.
Yeah, I like the content.
I wouldn't say the stories at all. I don't remember the storylines at all. It was like there were nice bright colours, cool shows, cool characters, cool things went on. You had toys you could recreate, but the actual storylines themselves do not give a shit. Growing up, anyway. I don't remember. I don't remember a single storyline from those shows.
See, I don't know if it's because I've rewatched 90s Batman in the last couple of years, but the thing for me about 90s Batman is Art Deco. I really love Art Deco architecture, and it's because of that. It's because of that style of Gotham, because I wouldn't have been exposed to it any other way. And it was it was simple things, like when I went to the Ukraine and we were going up this like lift up a hill, I was like, oh, this is so Batman. And it's really stayed with me that I associate anything Art Deco with that style of Gotham, which is my Gotham, and that's Mark Hamill's my Joker and everything else. But yeah, I can't say any other cartoons had the same impact on that otherwise, other than apparently my personality with Gurr.
Ulysses.
I really enjoyed the sort of darker, as I got older, so coming into the teens during the 90s, then yes, the darker stuff really sort of started to sort of draw me in. And the style was so different as well. So as much as, say, X-Men was very bright, the stories were dark.
Oh god, yeah.
Ulysses was pretty dark back then.
It
Like his
always
whole crew are like sleeping in space.
Yep.
That's not nice.
No.
Every place he goes, people try and fuck him up. I don't think that was happy. He did have a
I
cool
would
laser
used
sword
to
shield.
get confused with Ulysses and Jason the Wheeled Warriors.
Jason the Warriors, the monster mines.
Yeah.
When vegetables and cars have sex.
Yeah, it was literally cars versus plants, and it was a stupid concept.
1 second, I'm going to Google. What the fuck are you talking about?
Jason the Warriors.
Jason the Wheeled Warriors, yeah. Jason the Wheeled
Set in
Warriors.
space, it's kind of like Jason the Argonauts, only his crew aren't the Argonauts.
They're on wheelchairs?
No, no. There's a wizard, and they've all got cars. But weirdly,
Oh, I thought you meant they were all in wheelchairs, and I thought there was some really sick joke there about vegetables in space or something like that. And I was like, no, this show did not have that. No,
Dude, why did your brain go there?
because that's what I heard, and I thought you were talking about some really like fucking offensive show from the 80s, and I was like, what? This did not exist. You're making this up.
I'm gonna have to rein this one back in. I don't know how.
We need an adult. We need an adult.
Oh dear. Yeah, but let's go into the other one. Ulysses. Yeah, Ulysses was. I wanted to debate on this one because, as I said, this is supposed to be 2D Western animation, but Ulysses is anime. It's old style anime.
yeah.
It really is. If you look at, say, the trailer, and you look at other anime of the same period, it's just anime. I don't know if anyone agrees with me or not, or your chats
the
agree.
Ulysses.
Yeah.
You're just mentioning all these shows, and I'm like, what? Ulysses 31.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking back, I can't remember. It wasn't a
It
favourite.
looks like a mix, like style-wise, like a proper half and half mix of anime and like Western 2D.
Looks like a Daft Punk music video.
It does look. It looks like the discography, Discovery. Is that what it's called? Discovery. The video they made for that, the big feature length one. Wow, that does look
But
very.
the 90s also had the trippiest of shows. Not just so dark stories, but I'm thinking things like Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy's exactly. Okay, I'm thinking you said that.
Dexter.
Oh,
You idiot!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
yep.
The majority of them was either Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and they'd often be
Yeah.
like trying to out-cartoon each other with the zaniest stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for kids. You can look back at it now, and like Johnny Bravo is not for kids if you really look at the underlying message. But it's genius because kids can watch it and the parents aren't instantly offended.
Well, Ren and Stimpy was not for kids.
Oh yeah, Chicken and Cow,
Or Cow Chicken.
Cow Chicken with the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was from Rocco's Modern
I
Life.
Am Baboon and I Am Weasel.
Even the Powerpuff Girls is got some dark stuff in it, and it's just off the board, just crazy stuff. But I staying on Ren and Stimpy, I think, because of say Invader Zim, I don't think Invader Zim would have got green light if it wasn't for Ren and Stimpy just being even worse. Things like Powdered Toast Man or
Powdered Toast Man.
My first
Like-
comics I
it's
ever
like-
got was a Ren and Stimpy comic, and I've still got it, and it's still really messed up.
Powdered Toast Man.
But did Ren and Stimpy have burnt face man? Is that something else I'm getting confused with?
there was no. There's I can't think if there
I
was
think half
one.
his face was burnt off, but am I thinking of like something else?
Oh, there was some really bad stuff. They had the yak that was always half-shaven yak that was always coming
Yep.
in. There was just some very strange stuff on that show. I remember they had a fairy come in that was always collecting scum out of the shaving scum out of the basin. It was just like horrible stuff. And classic "Don't Piss on the Electric Fence" board game that you could have that was advertised, or log. And so it would always come in with these zany songs as well. So for me, that sort of stuck home. But I think I haven't mentioned what my favorite one from the 90s is, and I think it was already mentioned, and it's Gargoyles. Gargoyles was
Disney
by
one, yeah.
far my favorite show during there. It's the level of I've got to watch the next episode because I need to know what's going on with the story. What's the next thing? I got addicted. It's like, I can't wait till next week. I've got to find out what's going on. Had weird stuff like sort of high tech, high fantasy, but also then it goes way back in time. It sort of have weird cuts between the past and the future. It just totally sold me in every single way. And it's Disney. It was
It's dark,
really
isn't it?
dark.
It's like
and
it's like Disney DC.
Yeah.
It was like a DC universe and Disney got together and decided, because it felt very much like the 90s Batman, of that old Art Deco kind of lightning, it's constantly night kind of style. but it was Disney.
I
And
just
not...
remembered something as well, because we started off at 80s. I just
Yeah.
needed to go further back because I'm ancient. Will-o'-the-Wisp.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
yes.
fucked up.
Okay,
That's fucked
Granddad.
up.
Okay, Granddad.
Look
Let's put
back
you
at
to bed now.
Will-o'-the-Wisp now, and that's like fucked up.
What was that other
Magic
Blue Remember
Roundabout.
that's really old?
Will of the Wisp.
Will-o'-the-Wisp, we have
Will-o'-the-Wisp.
evil television as the
Yeah.
baddie.
Oh,
Evil Edna
Cartoon.
was the television.
Oh, that
Oh,
looks
God,
like
the
Kenneth Williams
television.
did the voice.
Oh,
He
yes.
did the narration. The Moog. There was the Moog.
Moog.
That was like whoever did that was on acid or something. It was fucked up. There was a thing that was half a spring that was bouncing around.
I've seen enough. I'm okay. I've seen enough. I don't want to look at it again.
But it's such a
that
dramatic
was like my
shift,
earliest
right?
cartoon memories.
Because none of
If
That's
anything,
that explains a lot,
if
actually.
anything, that could have affected me as a kid. Because yeah, that stuff like that was just mad shit.
it's not a cartoon, but Trapdoor probably also was involved in that sort of stuff.
Because that was
I
Masterson.
Trapdoor from reruns because obviously too young to remember it the first time.
But where's my dinner?
But even some of the lighter stuff that came through in the 90s, I can't think of any that came out, like, pops into my head immediately compared to all of the darker sort of more
Cat Dog,
zany. That's an abomination that just needs to be
Rocco's
burned
Modern
with
Life?
fire. Cat Dog,
Yeah,
that just needs to be
Rocco's
destroyed.
Modern Life was
Rocco's
like
Modern Life was quite
before
dark.
Ren and Stimpy. That was like 96.
I thought Hey Arnold got a bit dark sometimes as well.
Oh god, the Hey Arnold movie they released not that long ago, where they actually finally covered the thing with the parents. I think I cried. Like that was not an ending we needed. Like, I'm glad we had the closure, but we didn't need to know. Like, I was fine never knowing. I just wanted Stoop Kid sitting on his stoop. Like, fine.
Mhm.
So we've not touched on Simpsons at all.
No,
We're
that's
above
okay.
that,
That's
John. We're above that.
No, if you want to go for cartoons with longevity, it's got to be South Park for me. Absolutely,
South Park.
hands down.
South Park.
yep.
The fact
South
that
Park
we managed to
launched there.
assassinate them after everything they've done as well. What's our flight options? We're banned from all these countries.
So many countries.
It even got one of the highest grossing movies of all time, did South Park.
I
How?
preferred the movie to the actual show. Still do. I
I
still would
think-
happily. I don't want to watch the show anymore, but I'll happily watch like the movie again and
Oh
again
no!
and again.
You see, I think the last 2 or 3 seasons have been serialized, and they've built towards this big, overreaching
Have
story
they?
arc. And it's been so good. It's been
Okay.
really, really,
I'm
really
kind
good.
of interested now.
Yeah, and
Again.
it's been worth it because you get this whole episode story arc. I mean, obviously, each week is slightly different, but it's all building to this one thing. And the
Mhm.
internet troll story arc is amazing. And that's all I'm
Yeah.
going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I just like the episode that copied it when it came out with the president. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like I've
That
got a
was
lot of
the spec. They've still
rewatching
got-
to do.
I think I've missed the last probably 10 years of South Park.
Is it the e-scooter
Same.
thing where the scooters keep turning up? Mr. Mackey's like,
I
what
think
the fuck?
the last season I watched was where they had like the World of Warcraft one, and I think there was a Guitar Hero one.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was the last time I ever watched it.
The Amazon one with Jeff Bezos was funny as fuck.
They're just so good. They're so funny. And actually, it did start getting tired, the episode to episode, like piss takey. But they saw it so quickly and they switched to serialized. And the difference it made was just amazing because it's still tackling like everything ridiculous right now, but it's just so funny. So it's like having a film all over again. You could sit and binge the entire series and just be like, no, brilliant. And they've done one-off specials that have been like an hour long since.
Bloody wiener next to a wiener.
Non-erect wiener.
But also, going back to The Simpsons, Futurama is better, and that's the hill I'm prepared to die on.
Agreed.
Oh, yeah, good.
On a
'Cause
similar,
that-
I would,
it's the
I would
right hill
say
to die
that-
on.
I would also say American Dad is better than Family Guy. There, I
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah. Oh, just for Roger. Just for Roger.
Or
Dimmer
the Patrick
switches.
Stewart is in it. And in fact,
He's in it
Yeah.
quite a
Maybe.
lot, which is good.
Maybe.
And Jonathan Frakes was
Maybe,
in
maybe.
Gargoyles, so you've got number one, and then you've got
Maybe, baby. Maybe, baby. Maybe.
It's when he says, it's the episode with the furries and there's a car and a squirrel. It's like, brum, brum.
I just like all his personas. And then when they like they come and get him as well. It's just so funny.
So you mentioned serialization there. It's like how you've like I've got to watch it, and that's sort of like where I was with the Gargoyles, and like, but a lot of the early cartoons were very much just episodic. Like boom, that's it, start end, done. No real story or seasons because early ones. But then you get into things like Avatar, for example, The Last Airbender, and then it becomes like a great big long story.
I don't know, because Rick and Morty now is episode to episode for the most part.
I would say that, but I tried watching a recent season recently. I kind of stopped watching it, and I was kind of like, none of this makes sense because I've missed something. And it was like, it didn't feel self-contained enough. Like each adventure is self-contained, but all the characters constantly like call back to things that happened.
Yeah.
Like there was one where I can't remember any of the characters' names apart from Rick and Morty, but the Rick's daughter like has like there's like a real daughter and a fake daughter and a clone daughter and this kind of stuff. And this was all teased in previous episodes.
Beth.
That when it happened, I was just like, I've missed something. And it feels like that whole season, every episode I watched was rounding off something that happened in either season 1, 2, or 3 or whatever. So I always thought it was quite episodic, but then I realized by missing some episodes, you start to realize that it's like every episode has some tidbit of info in it that becomes important in a future episode.
I think it's because my favourite episode of Rick and Morty is like the third or fourth one in where the dog gains sentience. It's like,
Oh yeah, it was like a little suit.
them and
Where are
then
my testicles, Jerry?
because that's, but then obviously because I've watched it all, I know it kind of builds up occasionally and stuff gets called back to. But yeah, that's a really interesting perspective. I think if I was to watch the season we've just watched, I'd be a bit lost. So yeah,
I had to go back to a previous season and like scrub through episodes because I was sure I'd missed a whole episode, but I hadn't. I'd just forgotten about one scene in one episode. But it ruined my whole experience. I couldn't watch an episode and enjoy it because I was like, "Have they just thrown this character in?" But no, the character was teased before, but it felt like this character just been out of nowhere, was just thrown in, and I really struggled. Like I just could not keep up with what was going on. I was lost.
For stuff with plot and linking in, I just want to again. I'm going back to He-Man, not original He-Man, not the He-Man I don't want to speak about, where they took it to another dimension, another planet, and it was all shit. The He-Man that was redone on Toonami, because
I didn't know there was two.
that had a lot of history with the Snake Man and Hordak being Skeletor's, like after Skeletor being disfigured, and how King Randor disfigured Skeletor, and he was Kelor before then. There was a ton of history that linked everything in, and King Hiss, and that was a good, because for me, what you were saying with Gargoyles, I was like, because I was living with Ali in Glasgow and Paisley at that point, and we were like Toonami's on, okay, and the muscle King Muscle Wrestling or whatever, and that He-Man series really got me because there was so much background and plot, and I was like, this is amazing, and it just all linked into each other. I might download it again now that I'm thinking about it. And also
was that
King
early
Muscle.
2000s, right? Though?
Yes, that was early 2000.
Because then that's the bit of the shift, right? Because as it got into the late 90s for a lot of stuff, then it started shifting to becoming more sort of, you're looking at seasons and series rather than episodes. Because even, I mean, as you said, like South Park evolved to have this sort of some structure, all of these sort of things. And I think that was sort of, they found out that you can hook, because it's mostly adults that watch this, because it's no longer being for kids. The nostalgia's kicked in. They're wanting more than just an episode.
You members. I'm members. You remember Jabba's the Hutt and the Sail Barge? I'm members.
Star Wars, you remember casual racism? I remember.
You remember the Ewoks? I'm members then.
I mean, in the 90s, I'm thinking I've got to mention some of the sort of lighter ones as well, because as much as we love some of these ones, like the Gummy Bears,
Bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. We are the gummy bears.
Just setting John off. I'll just mention things and get John to sing for.
Sing
I know,
songs.
I'm just gonna it's like conditioning as a kid. I'm just gonna start saying cartoon lyrics if I hear a cartoon. Matt's gonna do the same. I can see the look in his
They were
eyes.
so good though back then. It was Defenders of the Earth. It's got amazing kick-ass opening sequence.
Defenders of the Earth, defenders. That was one of my
Master of
childhood
magic
favourites.
spells and illusion. Wow.
Mandrake, just like, why is there a wizard? What are you doing with these action guys? Why is there a guy who looks like he's out for dinner with his wife?
He made me watch the trailer for this a couple of days ago because he was talking about. I was like, I've never seen this. I watched the trailer. I was like, I'm sorry, what? What? Doesn't even make any sense.
They tried to rip off X-Men basically
No,
because
they
it was
were-
being
they
so
were comic book
successable.
characters, weren't they? Because like, was one of them not the Phantom?
Yeah, one of them's the Phantom. Yeah,
Like,
Oh
are
my
they not all
God.
DC, Defenders of the Earth not all DC characters or something like that? Is that
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's basically DC's version of the X-Men. They tried to do with Defenders, and yeah, it was a bit
Captain
strange.
Planet meets the X-Men.
Oh, Captain Planet.
Raccoons.
I was going to get to that one. Yeah, the Raccoons. Now that
Raccoons
one's
are one
one.
of the best soundtracks ever.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the real music video?
Yes,
I think I
have.
have,
I
actually.
have.
It's one of the freakiest videos, but it's amazing. She's doing the Raccoons music, but this is it looks a bit like Thriller with the dancing, but yeah, it's very surreal.
Oh, I forgot about Dungeons and Dragons. Damn it.
I love Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon.
It made no sense at
It made
all at
absolutely
any
no sense.
point.
All I remember is they were on
I
a
was-
roller coaster, and then they went in the roller coaster, and then all of a sudden they were in like Fantasyland.
And as a kid going to theme parks, I was so disappointed that, like, as soon as I went on a ride, I didn't go into an alternate universe and get a magic unicorn and like magical equipment.
It was a subliminal warning not to play Dungeons and Dragons because it will just eat your life and obsess everything about it, which is why half
no.
the books behind us are Dungeons and Dragons manuals.
Who the fuck's that? That's Venger, the force of evil. Who are you? I am your guide, Dungeon. You look like shit, Dungeon Master. He looks fucking terrifying. Can we be on his side, please? Oh, you've given me a cape that makes me invisible, and I'm a thief. Cheers. Thanks. And you've given the kid a unicorn, a helmet, and he's the barbarian. So the kid's a barbarian. I'm a fuck you, Dungeon Master. What the fuck's going on?
That was at the
Also-
height of the
also-
satanic scare as well, which is when that
There was
came
a-
out.
Satanic
Did
Panic
I-
was all about that.
Satanic Panic. Yeah.
Did I not read? I read yesterday or the day before that Trevor McDonald is going to be the new Dungeon Master.
The Games Master.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Yeah.
Games Master. Oh, wow.
The new- he's
Well,
gonna be
will
the
he
new
get a giant
Patrick
floating head?
More. And a monocle.
Hey.
Yeah.
I don't know
Perfect.
if I could watch a New Age Games Master. It would just destroy my memories of. Anyway, we're going off topic of cartoons.
Yeah, we-
Games.
I mean, we might as well get it out. Get the nostalgia out. So Nightmare, Games Master, get all of these out.
Oh,
You know.
nightmare. Sidestep to your left, forward sidestep to your right. Giant animated spider. Oh shit! Giant animated spider. Goblin horn. Toodaloo, toodaloo. 2 sidesteps to your left, or you're dead.
Oh, pick
Next
up that
school,
banana.
please.
Pick it up.
Anything you put in your bag, you will eat. You can't put poison in your bag. And they always put poison in their bag, and you're screaming at the TV. Did you not fucking listen to the fucking rules? Anything you put in that bag, you ingest. Oh, let's put the poison in the bag, you fucking idiot.
So someone's got some pent-up issues.
I think that
It
could
was
be a separate
frustrating.
podcast.
That could totally be.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I am fine.
Hydrate, hydrate, dear. Hydrate. It's okay.
I've got to say, it's one of those shows, though, having watched it, you're thinking, they didn't cut any punches. I think the Krypton factor was more forgiving than Nightmare. You do
Oh,
the
God.
one step and you're done. It's like, this is the hardest course game show for adults before Gladiators is the Krypton factor. The Nightmare comes along, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, Bethany, you've taken a slight step to the left too far. Your whole team's dead, goodbye. And they're like, bye. It's like, get out the studio. You get
Cut to
nothing.
the animated scene of you walking away from the castle. Fuck
Yeah,
off. Next school children, please.
Please get out of the green screen studio.
Then they
Creepy
had the young guy who
pedophile-looking
played the
guy.
elf as the Dungeon Master's sidekick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Dungeon Master guy was creepy. He was like, oh, what the hell? Like, big black goatee and sort of with
He's
these
a dungeon
kids.
master. He's not supposed to be like a pretty picture. He's manages a dungeon.
I think game shows needs to be a podcast. Can I suggest after anime that we do game shows?
Game shows. Let's put that down.
Prices
I'll put that on the
come
list.
down.
Yeah, Family
Is it on the
Fortunes.
board?
See, it's already taken over.
Anyway, let's get back to cartoons. I mean, that's the theme of today. So I think, let's see, that's been almost a very quick hour, actually. What I was thinking is now we're going to move into something a bit more like the modern period. So we've kind of looked at the 90s. Now at this point, we're pretty much 2000s, late 2000s. We're now in our adult period. We've got a different level of taste, which is a lie, but we're still looking at the same sort of, is there shows sort of in this period? And we've mentioned a few already, but is there a show that's stood out to you that is that you really got to watch again, or rewatchability from like the 2000s or late after or 2010s?
Because it's just so weird that when you've watched it the first time, you definitely need to watch it again so it makes a bit more sense.
What was the show? I missed what you said there.
Adventure Time.
Oh, all I heard was
Adventure
all I heard was Teutonic. I was like, what? I missed something.
Oh,
Alright, Adventure
yeah,
Time.
but mine and AD's friend Skinner, he loves Adventure Time.
That was the other T-shirt I nearly wore tonight. Was my Adventure Time T-shirt.
I actually have only watched a bit of it. What I did watch, I loved, but I've played the computer game and I loved the computer game. The computer game is really good.
Sort of the modern tie-in. It's the new toys, right? Sort of.
Totally is the new toy. Yeah. If you think about like Disney Infinity, those little things are like where you buy, you go to like a shop in like a game shop, and they have the little figures. Even Tesco and Asda might have them. The little figures for like £9, which is just a figurine. It doesn't move or anything. It's just a figurine, but you put it on a platform and it adds that character to your game, or a new world or a new level. That seems to be the new tie-in. Yeah.
Yep. So collectibles, filling in for nostalgia.
Limited edition.
I take it, Clone Wars wise, we can't talk about original.
Oh
Wars
my
because
glob!
Because original Clone Wars is that different animation? That's more.
One of them is
Eastern
3D,
animation.
isn't it? One of them
Which
is
one?
3D, isn't it?
The Clone Wars. I'm talking about the two Clone Wars. The
that's
first
a
one,
hard
which is
one.
the 20-minute episode one on Toonami, which is like it's Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Basically,
Oh no, the other Clone Wars is better.
That's a 3D animated one, isn't it?
Is
Yeah.
that 3D?
Computer generated, yeah.
It starts to get into. But then that's where things seem to be moving into. So 2D style, but 3D. So computer generated, sort of quasi
Cell shaded
2D.
kind of 3D
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
So that's sort of moving onto there because it's just easier to produce than classic cell shaded, or even the computer style one that isn't like old Flash games, like from Weeble stuff and all those sort of things. Sort of you used to see in like Newsgrounds.
Like Archer's like that kind of old Flash style.
Yeah, Archer. This is how we get ants.
Just a tip.
I cried at the end of the last season, because it was in dedication too, and I'm not gonna ruin the final episode, but it was really nice. It was really good. But I can't believe I've been watching Archer for 10 years already. I cannot believe it's been 10 years. And then that means, like, you've got like Bob's Burgers and everything else. Then they're all starting to creep up where you realise, oh, okay, I've been watching those for quite a while now.
Design did a nice picture of me.
I did. Is it Cecil? Is that his name?
Cyril.
I made you into Cyril.
As Cyril with like the bowl with the noodle and the chopsticks.
I think I made one for myself. I was Archer, so it was me. But I drew myself in the style of Archer, but it was like my head. And then John was like, "I love that." So like the next day, I made you one, and you were Cyril.
Cyril. I don't know how to take that, but I could have been Pam. That would have been nice.
Always torn between Pam and Cheryl.
Post cocaine Pam or previous cocaine Pam?
Always cocaine Pam.
Yes.
Cocaine Pam.
Needs more cupcakes.
Oh no, but it's just so good. I'm really glad it's been renewed. I'm really, really glad.
So I really enjoyed Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then the sequel to that was Korra. So if you haven't ever seen those ones, I can warmly recommend them, because it's sort of like taking a lot of the sort of anime stuff, because like Naruto and these sort of things, and they made it for a Western audience, but actually made. I'm not going to mention the film that got created, because that can die in a fire, and it just never, just forget it even exists. Mind blank that. But again, it's a good story, and it survives the whole season, the whole journey. So that's sort of thing that really comes to me, and I can watch it again and again and still pick up new jokes, because it's not really made for kids, even though it's kind of, some of the jokes in there just are not for kids. But that's definitely one from me from like the early 2000s, sort of mid 2000s. But I've been watching a lot of Netflix animations recently, which are pretty damn good.
Like
Inside Job, I've just watched this week. I can
I've heard
definitely
of it.
recommend it. It came out this week, so
Oh, I've
it's
heard of it, yeah.
pretty fresh. And the idea is, it sort of takes the characters, sort of like the characters from the latest Matt Groening's series, which was called
The Disenchantment or something like that.
Disenchantment.
Oh,
So
I
it's sort of
hated
like
that show. I absolutely hated that show. Yeah. Me and Curtis are so excited about it. We sat down to watch it, and I think we got like 5 or 6 episodes in, and we're just like, "Why are we still watching this? I can't. We just could not. Like, it just felt like they were really trying too hard
No, we
all the
love
way through it.
Shiny.
I
We
find it so odd. Honestly,
Just rem-
we couldn't get into it at all.
Just remembered something. Drawn Together.
Oh,
Oh,
Drawn Together! Oh my god, I loved
The big
absolutely
brother of
loved,
cartoon
I loved Drawn
genres.
Together. Oh my
You've
fucking
got
god!
like black and
It's
white
like
Betty Boop.
3 seasons. I remember binging all 3 seasons, and it was
so good.
cancelled. And it was
What was the
it was
Pokemon called? That guy was awesome.
oh Ling Ling.
Ling Ling.
Ling
Ling,
Ling
ling,
was
kill, die, die, die.
And the Zelda guy and
Yep.
superhero. Oh, that
No,
I love
was he
Drawn Together.
was he not called like Twink or something like that? Like it was like Link and he
Yeah.
was gay, so it was like Twink or something.
Yeah.
No, he was Xander.
Yes.
Xander was his name, and he was obviously gay the whole time. But he didn't come out until like halfway through season 2 or something like that. And they had a gay party called the Gay Bash.
Yeah. And
And
then
like, we're gonna throw a gay bash.
oh,
Oh,
and then
it was so good.
she wasn't able to be a real detective because she was like, not white, and there was this whole thing.
Was it Foxy
yeah.
Brown or Foxy Love or
Fox-
something her name was?
Foxy.
Right, and it was like the whole commercialism had been geared towards making people of a certain type waste money so they could never advance. It was like, that's really fucked up. That's really fucked up.
Donald Trump was a character as well. He was like the fake producer of the fake show.
Vagina tentacle.
So he had like he was like the running like the, what's it called? Like, he would always shit himself when he was excited. So he'd be like, oh yeah, two towels. Yeah. Yeah, Donald Trump before he was president was a character in that show.
Yeah, drawn Together. That was amazing. All
But that was sort of a Cartoon Network group, right?
Oh, and she always cut herself.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Betty Boop ripoff. Really real.
I can't remember.
She get because like fat came out when she kept cutting herself and stuff. And
Yeah.
She drank and smoked, and it was.
Oh, it's when
Well,
she adopted to try and fill a void in her life. I cannot remember her name, but she's my favourite, and I feel really bad.
There was like a SpongeBob SquarePants kind of rip-off. There was a Superman.
Yeah,
That
shitty
was-
Superman.
That was a good cast of characters.
Oh,
I
it was
think. Spoof.
Toot Braunstein was the
Toot.
piss take of Betty
That's
Boop.
it.
Yeah.
Toot.
Oh no, it was Foxy Love. Princess Clara, Captain Hero, Ling Ling, Waldorf Sockbat, and Spanky Ham.
Oh, Spanky
Spanky
Ham.
So he was a little angry pig, wasn't he? He was like really horny
and then he
all
had
the time.
an appropriate relationship with Princess Clara where he taught her the joy of shitting on pizzas.
Oh shit! Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. Because they got
And then returning it, like, this is not what we ordered. There'd be a shit
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
For those in the chat who haven't seen Drawn Together, just look at these faces and know that this brought us a lot of joy. for the problematic trash that it was.
So bad. It's so bad.
That wasn't Cartoon Network, was it?
I think it
That
might
wasn't-
have been.
Or was it the adult spin-off of Cartoon Network? Because they also had
Adult
that
Swim.
one was Adult Swim. That's it.
Freaky!
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God.
So Adult Swim has got a lot to answer
Comedy
for.
Central. It was Comedy Central.
Comedy Central.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it was so good though.
I remember it was a guy I was dating back when I was like 18 recommended it to me. And I binged it all in like 2 weeks. Back in the days when you could be like, I fancy watching that. Search, download, torrent.
Ah, yes. Torrenting.
Although I think Drawn Together is so inaccessible now, torrenting is probably the only way you can watch it.
I don't think it's been repeated anywhere.
I haven't
Well,
seen
I
it.
think I think it was controversially cancelled. Like, this is far too offensive for taking it off air kind of style, which I am not surprised about. But it was definitely a punch up or punch sideways kind of thing. Like, there was homophobic jokes in it, but they were only fun. They were only funny if you were actually a gay person to go, "Ha, that is funny," because that does happen. Or
And like the Foxy love
homophobes
stuff.
do say that, whereas it wasn't necessarily homophobic. It was more like, "This joke's for you, you gays."
We see you, but
Yeah,
this
we
is what
see
you have
you.
to put up with, and it's
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, so I think a lot of jokes like racism, self harm, homophobia. What else have we got in there? Just looking at the characters.
Oh, good old like misogyny and
misogyny,
sexism.
pretty much sexual assault and all that kind of stuff all came into it, but we're all told from the side of, I don't know, it was like it was making light of really dark subjects, but it wasn't punching down ever. It never punched down.
No, like Princess Clara's sister being on the special bus with the helmet, and then when she took the
I
helmet
forgot
off,
about that one.
she was the most beautiful, hottest girl in the world, but she was like,
Now I
and it
take
was like,
back. Now I take back everything I just said. No, I
Yeah.
remembered about that character.
no, that was bad. That was the bad bit because then
No, I
the
remember.
Superman ripoff dates her just because she's hot, and it's like, oh no, oh no.
I forgot about Clara's sister. Okay, I take back everything I said. It's dreadful. It should be cancelled. Oh my god, I forgot about that character. Oh.
I'm gonna shock
And
you all now.
explain-
There is one 2005-ish cartoon I have never seen, and this is Duck's Face. I have never seen an episode of SpongeBob.
Oh, same. Never.
I've never watched an episode of SpongeBob either.
I've seen the movie and I love the movie.
I've never seen that.
Then why wouldn't you watch the cartoon?
Because I've seen the movie. I'm done. I'm dusted.
The
Sorry.
movie doesn't mean you're done. That's like watching Transformers the movie and not watching any of the Transformers cartoon.
2005.
You think Optimus Prime's going out like a
I
puppet?
watched the Beavis and Butthead film
Oh.
without watching the cartoon.
Why would you? No, it wasn't cartoons. It was beautiful analysis of modern day rock music that they tore apart. Beavis and Butthead was fantastic.
So
it
we've
was
gone back in time.
Oh no! They put something like, they just tear
When I watched
apart.
Beavis and Butthead on TV, I never got it because I was too young. Like, they would just watch music videos and slag them off.
I didn't know Beavis and Butthead either.
I didn't know who the bands were. I didn't know what the songs were. So I couldn't go like, that's funny because they're slagging my favorite band. So I was too young to appreciate it.
I had lots of stoner friends. One let us know was called Metal Face John, who were obsessed with Beavis and Butthead. I never got into it.
Is that why you called me John? There's too many Johns. You have to give yourself little like prefixes.
But I did watch King of the Hill quite a lot.
I watched King of the Hill.
Oh, pain. Oh no, that's
just
never mind.
I watched King of the Hill a lot. Yeah, that's my Mike Judge. Beavis and Butthead isn't.
Oh
Yeah.
no, King of the Hill was brilliant, and actually, Mike Judge then did a cartoon a few years later called The Good Family, which was 2 ahead of its time because it had a dog that was forced to be vegan and shit. But if it had been done now, it would have been great. But it was I think it was pre 2010, and it got a 1-season flop run, and I was like, no, because Mike Judge is brilliant.
It's a massive shame. I mean, how adult cartoons are really controversial. I mean, how some of them even get a second season. I'm surprised that Rick and Morty is as popular as it is with some of the stuff it does. I mean, ultimately, it's like,
with me. Bind your soul.
I think it's popular because it does what it does. It's the way South Park wouldn't have been as popular if it hadn't been as crude. Because
Mm.
originally you look at season 1, first few episodes
Shit.
when they got no money.
Did
If
you
they
remember?
hadn't been crude as hell, people would have watched it and gone, well, that's shit. Not that's amazing shit. Then it's gone, that's just shit. Scrap animation. But because it's so cutting and they were so to the fucking line, really playing dangerously close to that line so often, that you're there going, how are they getting away with this?
I was banned from watching it by my mother. So I think I was 9 or 10 when it made its way to Channel 4. And I was so banned that I would get sent to bed for playing up so I could watch it in my room with the subtitles on. And I'd only ever get busted if I read something and I was like, "Ah!" And I was like,
Think-
fucking TV off. Sorry. So the
that-
first
I mean,
episode.
for me, that was Eurotrash. That's Eurotrash is what you watch in your bedroom.
Yes! Yes!
and Queer as Folk.
Well, Ghostbusters, I think, was
Queer as
already.
Folk.
I
I
was
watched that in the bedroom.
When that was on TV, I was already old enough to watch it, I think. So.
What-
God bless
Wasn't it?
Channel 4. God bless it.
Channel 4.
Thank you, Channel 4. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be as deviant as I was today. You know.
Yeah, we
Thank
love
you very
Channel
much.
4. We love Channel 4.
I mean, I think but back to the Rick and Morty argument, I think if they hadn't gone quite as far as they did, all they would be a rip-off of South Park or a rip-off of Family Guy or a rip-off of American Dad.
Well,
They
no,
had to they had to
yeah.
go, we're going to take this Back to the Future theme and push it literally as far as we think we can push it, to the point we might get banned, but if they didn't, they'd just be a knockoff in people's eyes.
Well, they covered incest in like the first 4 episodes. It was but it was when I had
When did they kill? They pretty much kill like the entire family, and
That ha-
replace. Is that not like episode 1? The end of episode 1, where like Rick and Morty both die and get replaced by like new Rick and Morty.
that happens a lot.
They move to like, but I think it happens like right at the start. But throughout the whole season, it's a recurring thing that Morty has some kind of almost like PTSD over it all, and the reason he's so fragile is because he had to bury his own body in an alternate dimension, and technically the family he has now isn't his family, because back in season 1 they destroyed their universe and moved to a different one and killed, or they died, I can't remember the exact way it happened, and buried their bodies, and now he's living a lie. Like, the family he's living with aren't actually the family he grew up with. They're dead, or weird monster things or something.
Really bad confession to make about Rick and Morty. I was a teacher at the time, and I ended up with 60 kids out of nowhere that I had to entertain. And I was like, guys, what do you want to watch on Netflix? They were like, Rick and Morty. I was like, oh, it's a cartoon.
Oh.
What could possibly go wrong? And one of them told me which episode to put on, which is now my favourite, which is the dog sentience one. And I was like,
Where are my testicles?
I have
Charlie?
never seen 60 kids so quiet in my life. And they're all laughing at different bits that I'm laughing to. And I'm like, oh no. And it wasn't until, I think it was last year's season with the fucking dragons and the orgies. I was like, no.
It's so uncomfortable.
At least I didn't have to watch that in front of 60 kids, because fucking hell. But like, I was like, because the kids love it for completely different reasons, and it's so weird. But then, like, you can quote, well, so obviously I only stopped being a teacher last year, and I used to quote South Park and Family Guy and American Dad and Simpsons, and some of them they'd be like, and some were like, what are you on about? And South Park is now one of the ones that is just for us. But I was shocked that there was such a crossover with Rick and Morty.
So that's a very interesting. It's like, do you think kids are going to be scarred going forward? And if they're watching this sort of stuff, I mean, it's like,
South Park, and we're fine.
are we?
We're fine.
Are we though?
Hey, look at me! I'm totally fine! Look at these, they've been watching a lot of cartoons at a young age, they're fine. Over here's fine. We're all good.
Yeah, we're all good.
No problems
Are we
here.
though?
Oh, I'm just gonna eat some of
It's
this
honestly-
overly lettuce.
I always hate the phrase "we're fine" because you always hear it by like boomers being like, "Well, I was beaten to near death by my father when I was young, and I'm fine." So you're not fine. You voted for Brexit. Like, you're not fine. You're not fine. You're a racist cunt. You're not fine. You're not fine. You think gay people should just go back in the closet and get wives and fix them. They're not fine. Boomers are fucking cunts. In general.
It's,
Disclaimer. Legal disclaimer. In general.
is this corn just below me? Is this cooked?
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. He's
What are
looking
you
at the
looking at?
overlay and trying to.
Oh, right.
It's not animated. It's not animated. It's fine.
I thought your screens were all messed up and you were like eating, trying to eat.
And
I'm
they
just-
pretty
I'm
much
just-
goes to the corn for me, except the corn for me, for you, John, is the other side.
So yeah,
Oh.
John's not on the corn side
No,
for you.
he is. He's
Where-
there. The corn's there.
Where's
Look.
the corn?
There, that's corn.
Oh no, he's
No,
going.
the
For
other
those
side,
watching my
the other side.
stream, you realise that I'm a chalkboard and not a fruity basket of salad.
And if anyone is actually listening in afterwards on the recorded podcast, I have two of my streamers trying to eat corn on the screen.
I'm looking at pepper now on my stream.
We're totally fine. Cartoons have not affected us in any way. We're good.
I think I might win the quiz. Because Joy like, oh, didn't you write anything down? I was too busy trying to eat the fruit on the bottom of the screen.
Cartoons have clearly brought out our childish side.
Yeah, but I would never do this normally. It's totally the topic.
The last one wasn't this chaotic.
No, it wasn't this chaotic. That doesn't matter.
Baby.
The whole point of this sort of stream is that we can just talk about what we like, and that's the whole point. I mean, it was always described to my wife that it's like a bunch of friends at a pub, just speaking crap about things they enjoy and love, right? And I think that's really good content, to be honest. I mean, I certainly enjoy that sort of friendly camaraderie. So that's sort of, hopefully, everyone that's watching us is as well.
See, the reason I was so excited about this podcast, I have this very specific memory of watching Batman on a Saturday morning on Live and Kicking, going, what age will I stop watching cartoons? And I remember asking myself that question. The answer's never. Like, since the 25th of never. Like, they're so, and the ones that we've grown up with have kept going at our pace. Like the new animated DC films for Batman are just as dark as the 90s cartoon because they're done for us, not the kids. And the same with South Park. I don't really know about The Simpsons. I'll admit I got bored. Futurama was more for the adults than the kids. Like, you know, it's nice.
New He-Man.
Oh my god, the new He-Man.
Oh, we've not even touched the new He-Man yet.
No.
I want to touch the new He-Man.
Oh, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to touch that? Say, old He-Man. Okay, new He-Man.
Soon. I think you mentioned something there, Alive and Kicking. Now that brings back memories. Because they never just did cartoons back then. They did cartoons in between sort of skit areas.
I loved it.
I think it's called a magazine show.
Yeah.
It's like the visual equivalent of reading like a magazine.
But I absolutely loved it. Because you'd have like the Keenan and Kel show, and then sometimes Keenan and Kel were actually on Live and Kicking. And then you'd have like a bit of Batman or a bit of X-Men or a bit of Superman or a bit of Spider-Man, whatever it was they had at that point. And then whatever they didn't have, ITV had on the one with Ant and Dec and Kat Deely, who was really fit.
SMTV.
Yes, SMTV Live. And they had like You Don't Need Pants for the Victory Dance. They had that one. And you were just like, I just had a whole weekend of cartoons and it was so good.
I think from Wee John has probably mentally blanked out these sort of things.
CBBS? Fuck that.
Oh, okay. So the other thing, stuff like 97, 98. I got up to watch. It was a Scottish Sunday morning kids show that had Gail Porter presenting and some other people, and it had some sort of coup on it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be offensive.
Coup.
The coup.
Totally offended.
But it was my Sunday morning kids TV show with Gail Porter and whatever they had on. Right. Yeah.
To Gail Porter's Wikipedia.
Gail Porter.
And I got really annoyed that 1st September of that. It was 97. I woke up, turned it on. Where's my fucking kids TV show with my cartoons? I can't watch it because Princess Diana's died. Great, where's my cartoons? And I just remember getting really annoyed that my cartoons weren't on because I was 11.
Is it TIGS? Tigs?
Yeah.
Up for it? Up for it sounds.
Yes, up for it.
Yeah.
If we're gonna hit on these like weekend shows which like merge the cartoons for kids, and especially with this has never affected me watching this religiously, but Ghost Train.
Don't recognise that.
I don't
Ghost Train.
recognize it.
It's basically what you're describing, but it was themed about that they've stolen a ghost train and there's a guy after them and they're doing kids shows on it.
Never
Google
change,
it.
John. If it's
Google
spooky, ghosty,
Ghost train.
Halloweeny.
I used to get cardboard boxes and build a ghost train in my grandparents' back garden.
This is where everyone starts googling, getting out the phones. What the hell is ghost train?
They're like, "What the fuck's he talking about?"
I genuinely have no idea.
I don't have a clue.
I'm gonna add that to my list of things to look at after this, because that's definitely
Wide Awake Club and Whack-A-Day were the ones that I'd watch a lot. But then
Timmy Mallet.
Numbered 73 predates those, there was this house with loads of really young, attractive people in that would talk to kids and then show cartoons and stuff. It was
But yes, I think.
Here we go. Here we go. Ghost Train is a children's TV program broadcast on ITV between 1989 and 1991, produced by Time Teens Television associated with ITV regional stations.
For my time.
The series concept involved presenter Frances Dodge inheriting a ghost train from her grandmother, with helpful fellow presenters Paul J. Merford and Sabra Williams. She sneaks the train from the grasp of evil Barry Mafia, and makes her escape. Inside is startled Gerard. The aliens... I'm just going to stop. People can just Google this themselves. I realize that totally traumatized me as a kid. This is why I'm how I am.
There we go. We found the source. There we go.
This could be it. I'm going to sue them now.
You made me who I am.
what is that?
Oh my god, yeah.
The weird puppet. It doesn't come up very well. It's so weird. I remember that.
They introduced various cartoons, including Scooby-Doo, The Real Ghostbusters, and Trapdoor at the end of season 2.
Yeah.
So are you showing me the sheep thing, the sheep mascot? Is that what you're showing me? That is horrific.
I'm too young to remember
sheep's
watching it, but now that I've seen it, I'm like, I can vaguely remember because I was about 3 or 4 when it ended. TV was my babysitter. Woo, 90s kids.
They turned Timmy Mallet into a cartoon.
It's got some serious.
They did have a Timmy Mallet cartoon. You are right, actually. They did.
What?
There was a Mallet cartoon. I remember it.
You couldn't do that nowadays. He just was bashing people with a full mallet.
He's just giving them concussion for you.
In my first year.
For you.
He was at the end of year ball in my first year of uni. We had Timmy Mallet and the Cheeky Girls.
What?
Yeah.
The Cheeky Girls.
We had Venga Boys and the band from Scrubs. You know the doo-wop band.
Yeah.
The a cappella band.
Oh, I'm so jealous that you had Venga Boys.
Well, I went to a real university, you see.
The Dundee one. In Dundee, you know. It's in Dundee.
The University of Dundee.
In Dundee. Check on the map for Dundee and you'll find it.
All right, let's talk about the new He-Man. I think this is the time we've got to really talk about it. So if anyone knows, there's a bit of controversy with hardcore misogynist men. I'm going to put that in this. That hated it. That hated it.
They're talking shit. They're not hardcore.
That's the question I asked you earlier, where was He-Man formative in some of your sexual things because not everyone is straight here. Like, how can you be a misogynist with He-Man? It's
I know.
full of gay overtones and just
They're gay. And I'm like innuendo man. So.
Part of the controversy is that He-Man isn't the main character. I think that is one of the main drivers that you hear the argument they use.
He-Man's tales, He-Man's new, and it's
So,
it's an absolute.
At this point, if you haven't watched the new series of He-Man, stop it now because it's going to be full of spoilers. We're going to go on a rant. There we go.
We're going to go on
No, don't leave. Stay on. It doesn't matter.
So the misogynistic men are upset that He-Man's not the lead character. He never was. It was always Skeletor. Every time that show would have been nothing without Skeletor. Absolutely nothing. And so He-Man's just the muscle. He's not the funny. Skeletor made every episode. Without Skeletor, you've got a boring forest with a boring king, and everything's happy.
I think Zorko was the main character.
Orko.
Is it Morko? I can't remember. Orko, Jesus.
Oh my god, stop blaspheming.
Ah!
Oh my god.
That's nerd rage. Be careful.
They've,
And what happened to poor Orko? Wow! Oh my God! With the magic and everything.
I actually cried, didn't I?
I was upset when Orko.
I mean, the opening sequence, the
It's
opening
fucking
battle, they kill hundreds of them, hundreds of really well-known characters. And I'm like,
Man,
you can't do that.
Mossman's dead.
They did.
Yeah.
I
It's like
think
the start of Injustice.
that's what shocked. I think some people were like, "Shit, we've just had the first," and everybody knows Prince Adam is now He-Man. Prince Adam is now dead. I think it was too much for some.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm like, oh, this is just blowing everything I expected away. I did not expect the age-old secret to be. I was like,
Yeah, well, what they didn't want to produce was a rehash. So what
No.
they did produce was something.
I think it was.
absolutely
I think
new.
it was ballsy and it was well done. And I was
Yep.
I was sitting there going, like 2 hours later, they know he's He-Man.
Yep.
And they know it's his son, and he's dead. I was just like, and his mum, and Tila, and oh, Man at Arms has been sent away, and I was like, holy.
It was so good. I didn't have the attachment that you lot have had to the old He-Man. I watched it, I enjoyed it, but it was so nice to see it now. And hearing Sarah Michelle Gellar and hearing everything, like, and Mark Hamill, who is my Joker, it was just like all these lovely comforting voices. Like, it's so good.
The guy
It's
that did
so
Scareglo's
good.
voice. What's that actor's name? The guy that did Scareglow.
Oh,
He played Candyman, I think, or he's got that cutting voice. But just Evelyn. Evelyn is amazing.
oh, she was wonderful.
She was my sexual awakening, I must admit.
I likes the bare ladies. But yeah, just
Tony Todd. Tony Todd is Candyman.
was it Tony Todd? I guess I could Google to see if he did.
It's
the Scarecrow's voice.
IMBD.
And
Everyone check it up.
It was also having my massive nerd out that the current voice of He-Man is actually married to the current actress that plays Supergirl, because he was on Supergirl and was also in the Vampire Diaries, and I was just like, oh, it's... And I never would have thought of it, and then I saw him, I was like, oh, it is him. But like, yeah.
I love how Alan Oppenmeyer, the original voice of Skeletor, voices some voices in this as well.
Yeah, I saw that as well, but
That was
obviously
such-
Mark
so- that
Hamill was
was-
just wonderful.
Yeah, Scareglow is the same guy from Candyman.
Yes, Colin.
Yep.
But yeah, Alan Oppenmeyer. I think he's done
Tony Todd.
Mossman, Man at Arms, and Cringer. I think he did. But yeah, there was a talk about there's just some voices because of his age he can't do anymore. Or he'll start
Yeah.
coughing up
Which
blood.
is fair.
But I like how they still make Skeletor a bit campy. Like the
Yeah.
first episode, where
True.
he's done the big magical fist, and then He-Man, and he's like, he's like, I am Skeletor, I am the master of Smash.
Was Skeletor Christopher Reeve in the movie?
No.
Superman.
No.
I thought he was.
No,
But
no.
there's another He-Man which was massive controversy, the same sort of rage as well. Was
Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph Lundgren's movie. It's the same sort of, this is my childhood you're fucking with. I'm not happy about this. What are you doing?
Loved it. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
I was mixed, to be honest. For me, it was like Resident Evil. I expected Resident Evil to be in a mansion, and the whole,
Yep.
for some fucked up reason, sorry, that I expected the whole Resident Evil first movie to be in a mansion, just like the game. And if that's what happened, as boring as it would, that's fine. I expected the He-Man movie to be on Eternia. I expected it to have fucking Orko, not Queldor, and a fucking key. Bar that, I was getting over it.
Young
really
Courtney
key.
Cox, though. Young Courtney
Oh,
Cox.
yeah.
Was
I
always
wanted
nice.
Eternia. I was like, it's going to be Eternia in real life. I got so excited because it was going to be He-Man, and then I was like, it's actually real life. They're in Earth, and there's this weird guy with the key. And
If you look at the costume for Skeletor in the movie, you can actually see the mesh for these nose holes. it's terrible.
I actually watched it very, very recently. I remember his face looking odd. I love it. I love the music in it when they get to play the little key.
only because I'm an 80s child is because I love it. But the rest, I just expected something, and I got something different. And
Yeah.
just like Resident Evil.
I wasn't that into He-Man as a kid, so watching the film as a kid was not that heartbreaking for me.
I had timed well food poisoning on the week of VHS release of He-Man and the Master of the Universe. So there I was, low, being sick at home, and what should happen? My mum should make me feel happy, rents the video. So I watch it, and I'm there going, it just wasn't very good, and I wanted to do it better. And I think the fact that they weren't allowed, because of the toy company leaning on the film company, they weren't allowed He-Man to stab anybody. So you've got Dolph Lundgren, who looks like he could stab a lot of people. Let's be quite frank, he's built as
With
hell.
one sword.
He's got his little sword, and he's not allowed to do any damage with a sword. A sword, of all things, all it does is two things. It chops. It doesn't have any functional tool other than to kill people. You can defend with a shield, you can defend with an axe. A sword has one job. It doesn't cut down trees, it kills people. That's its only job. It's the first thing we created as humans to literally kill people. That's his weapon. Let him do his job.
He shot a lot of people, though, in that movie.
He
Watch it
did
again.
shoot a
He
lot of
shot
people.
a lot of people. I got this sword, but pew, pew, pew with my lasers instead. That's it.
This is for show. This is for killing you all.
Dr.
Yeah,
Wells
I
of Los
just,
Angeles.
I just wanted it to be an Eternia. That's all. I didn't care what happened, but it just wasn't. Also, going back to cartoon series, Merman was cool. Beastman, like the whole Beastman Evelyn relationship, milady. That's interesting, and the whole cult of technology with Triclops. That,
But it's
like
again,
that.
back to that
What would happen when you
nostalgia.
when you take away the Godfather, what happens to the little crime families? And it was
Yeah.
weird to see them all splinter into little groups.
Yeah.
So I was used to like Merman because he was extraordinarily camp, and he was not camp in the remake. He was quite horrible.
Yeah, because Alan Oppenheimer did Merman originally.
Yeah.
He did a lot of the voices. But we've not seen Buzz Off yet. We've not seen Stratoth. Ram Man. How the hell are they going to
Looking
do
forward
Ram
to
Man?
season 2.
Are they getting a season 2?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it was almost immediately picked up for a season 2, as everyone was binging season 1.
Despite the weird negative, I think
I can't even. I just don't understand how it was received negatively. I
don't know if that was mostly press. Fake
I don't know. I
press.
think it's a whole bunch of incels just causing a lot of noise.
That would make sense.
Everybody likes fucking He-Man, for God's sake. You've got fucking Cersei Lannister playing Evelyn.
I
Evil bitch playing evil
know.
bitch.
Oh my god! And she just drips through the screen, and you're like, I will do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes, please.
You feel sorry for her as well. You do. You do. You feel a wee bit, yeah. And then you're like, oh no, she's still stunned. You're like, I don't know if they're going to bring like her father into it later on, because her father is that in prison powerful magician. So I don't know if they're going to bring him in, but just the ending. Oh, just God. Just Skeletor gets what it's just they finish on that, and yeah, they've broken everything that they would never do in the series. Skeletor would never get the Sword of Power. No one would never know He-Man's secret. Prince Adam would never die. It's all been fucking blown out of the water. I love it.
Oh, no, I was just obviously He-Man is probably the latest like cartoon that we probably all watch, apart from the one that you've currently watched, Letters.
Yep.
I was just scrolling through my phone. The new Harley Quinn cartoon.
Oh, that's amazing!
Yes.
It's fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Sorry, I was like,
love it.
I love it so much. And then obviously there was controversy about season 3 where Batman's supposed to be going down on Catwoman, and DC were like, you can't do that. And then Zack Snyder was like, real superheroes go down on their women. Like, it was like, well, the Snyder said it, but it's so good. It's so
funny.
good, and I'm so happy.
It's so
I'm so happy that we're finally getting a cartoon version where the Joker is a toxic twat to Harley. Harley's gone
exactly,
and now I get to be gay with with
Poison
Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Oh,
I love King Shark in that. I love King Shark.
I love Clayface.
If you ever give me some sort of again, I will shank you in the shower.
Is that it's the episode when they go to the university, the Midlands University?
Yeah.
Gets so into character. It's definitely
so
my favourite.
Sorry.
The thing is, when I first heard it was being made, I was like, I won't watch that. It's just a cartoon, like that kind of attitude. Then I saw like a clip of it online. I was like, okay, I'm watching this now. I'm watching all of it.
Oh no!
now.
The minute I saw it was a Harley Quinn cartoon, and then I was like, and Katie Kuoko's basically turned around and gone, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So
he did
I'm
it so
going to
well.
produce it as long as I can do it, because obviously she
Mhm.
did the voice of Harley a few animated DCs back. I think she was.
I didn't know that. I did not know
Yeah, and Bernadette from The Big Bang Theory also voiced Harley Quinn as well. She was Harley Quinn in Batman's Harley Quinn.
Mhm.
Because obviously I've watched every single animated DC film there is, and DC
Mhm.
animated films are better than live action, and that is a hill I'm prepared to
I
die on.
I actually have a few of those on Blu-ray and DVD that I still
Oh,
have
yeah.
and haven't got rid of because they are much better, and I enjoy watching them a lot more than like Nolanverse or even more, especially the recent DC films. Which I actually just don't enjoy at all. I don't enjoy any of them. I find them really dull.
Oh wow!
I agree, but I see like I'm not saying people who see them are wrong. Like people who like them are wrong, but I just don't find them exciting. Because I found the Nolan stuff exciting, and the previous even the fucking Tim Burton stuff I found exciting. But the animated movies always to me are always good.
We
Always.
watched Injustice last week. Oh, it was brutal.
It was this week.
Was it this week?
Yes.
It was. No, it was Sunday. But yeah, Injustice is brutal. It was great. It was so good. And it was kind of dark vibes of the old Batman from the 90s, because it was just unforgiving.
Does this bring us nicely onto Invincible?
Ooh.
Mhm. Invincible.
That's fucking oof.
Awesome. Oof.
Yes.
Oof.
Invincible has been my favorite animation of the last couple of years by far.
Sorry, son. We need to go to fuck the planet, and also all these superheroes. I'm just gonna turn up and fuck them. I'll just kill everybody.
It's like I enjoyed watching The Boys, but it just wasn't right for me. Then I watched Invincible. I was like, this is what The Boys should have been. Like,
I see.
me-
We've been meaning to watch Invincible. We've seen the trailers, and I get the exact same vibe. I'm like, this is going to go far enough. Because that's the other thing I think that we haven't touched upon at all whilst talking about cartoons. Cartoons can go far enough
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it's not real people. So they've got you can
Yeah.
just it's brilliant. They go far enough. Like they have the ridiculous fight scenes and the special effects. And it's believable because it's a cartoon. But the brutality of the violence you couldn't do with live action people.
Yeah. Okay, Invincible is like Ichi the Killer as a cartoon, but with superheroes. Like it's just like, well, their face has been removed from them now, and they have no more teeth, and they got their jaw ripped out through their anus. Like it's that kind of style of brutality, but it's an animation. So you can imagine some parent being like flipping through Amazon Prime and being like, oh, that looks like a cartoon I can watch with my kids, and it's Invincible. So.
I'm also going to be advertising Weejohn's babysitting services soon, so you know your kids will be safe with me. We'll have some wholesome cartoons to watch, some productive arts and crafts.
How do we
They
feel
can
about
paint stuff for you.
how do we feel about cartoon live action hybrids? Because Son of Zorn was hilarious.
I've not seen that.
So it was basically
To the
like
Google.
this. So it's an Amazon series, and it's basically like this He-Man type
Oh,
who's
yes.
had a
Yeah.
baby.
Oh, sitcom,
with-
isn't it?
Yeah, so it's had a baby with a
Oh
human.
yeah.
And the boy, like from the waist up is human, and from the legs down is cartoon, and it's just so funny.
I'll
It's
allow
the
it.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the best live action cartoon mashup I've seen since Jessica
Yeah.
Rabbit.
No, Harvey Birdman. Fucking
I
love
was gonna say
that.
Harvey Weinstein.
No, Harvey Birdman. Oh, easy.
Okay, so I remember seeing an advert for Son of Zorn about 2 years ago and being like, I need to see that. And I completely forgot it existed. So thank you for reminding me because that is getting
You're
added to my
welcome.
list. I completely forgot that
So
existed.
funny. I was
'Cause I meant
gutted
to
it
watch
didn't
it.
get picked up for another series. Oh yeah, I was just gutted.
Well, if you go to Google image search for it, there's actually a frame which just sums up how I hope it to be, and it's the main character, which I'm guessing is the son of Zorn, sitting in a laundrette, but it's a live action laundrette, and he's an animated character, just like in a laundrette, like waiting for his clothes to be done. And I hope that's a lot of the show. Like
It's him having to like, why can't I
adapt to
just have
real
an
world.
orgy with all these women? What the fuck? Like, I could have a feast. No, you've got to go pay your taxes and go get a job. Like, it's just,
So it's pretty much Thor, but animated.
yeah, it's really good. It's really good.
Okay, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Is there any sort of cartoon that we've talked about for a bit that you would love to see a remake? I mean, they've remade He-Man. Is there anything else you think would be really good to see come back?
Oh, it was-
I kind of do.
Arthur. Hey,
Arthur.
what
Hey,
are we
Arthur.
talking to do? Live action for the
Oh.
furries. And I'm kidding,
Oh
obviously.
my
I'm,
God,
tot-
no.
I'm totally
No.
kidding.
Oh my.
I would, but I think a remake of Arthur for adults who watched it when they were kids would be my thing. Not the Rugrats. They tried that and it's fucking hideous.
Yeah,
But,
I
like,
haven't. I loved the original Rugrats. I even loved the PS1 game where you had to collect all the bloody keys and get chased by the stupid dragon thing. Reptar, that was it. Oh no, but the thing is, I remember teaching myself how to play that on piano. I was like, do 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 do. Like I loved Rugrats, but the reboot, I was like, but at least
What was it called? Grown Up.
or something like that. Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
Grown
Grown
Up?
Up, that's it.
and it was like fucking loved the original Animaniacs. We are
Animax. But
the reboot.
they had
was
done
a
a
bit-
reboot, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, it was better. It was better than the Rugrats reboot.
But do you think it's because the nostalgia isn't there, or just the fact the
That's
comedy
exactly,
isn't the same?
Yeah, you got exactly. That's exactly what it is. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
I don't want
It's-
reboots. I want either a continuation where they pick stuff up and do more. Like obviously Futurama got cancelled, picked up and cancelled, then got films and blah 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 blah. Great, fine. But what actually a cartoon that doesn't exist that I would love would be the comic book adaptations of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would make a great cartoon. No one's touched it yet, but there you go. But I wouldn't want to see OG Batman rebooted, or Spider-Man, or X-Men, or Superman, because the 90s wasn't as kind to children as today's TV is. So I think it would miss the mark for us. It might get newer generations into it, but I just don't think it would be good enough for us.
I'm gonna go with what Kat's saying. So I'm gonna go with Ghostbusters, but it's not a remake of it. It's a franchise. You've got broken characters. It's an adult cartoon. You've got like an alcoholic one. There's one he's got like psychological issues. And it's a mixed team. You've got like mixed genders, everything. But yeah, they're broken characters. It's like Phasmophobia. They get fuck all pay. It's shit.
And then thinking about broken characters, that would be BoJack Horseman, because he was like the antithesis of anti-hero. He's fucked up.
So yeah, it's like if I was a Ghostbuster, basically.
They just want to cast you.
And there's fuck ups. Maybe sometimes a client gets something happens. It does not a happy ending.
Yeah.
And
collateral damage happens and shit gets fucked up, and
it's a constant shift, and they have to get out of it, and things get worse. But they manage to sort it out in the end. But they still have a Janine-style receptionist, because Janine was fucking awesome.
I think Janine was better than
Janine,
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth is fucking terrible. Although what got me about that was the women openly perving on the guy, and then it so in my head I just went, men can't do that to women now. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. No. But
did anyone perv on Janine?
Like how they objectify Chris Hemsworth was way over the top, because it was like,
never objectified. She was never objectified.
No,
I think
she was strong, in charge. Fucking.
She was great.
Yeah.
She was like, I had no fucking days off. When am I getting fucking paid? She
was the manager.
Yeah, she kept it together. She kept it together, and that was back in the 80s. So.
In our previous podcast, I think we had about maybe 20 minutes on this subject.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Oh my god, we did. I'm so sorry. I just get really pissed. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the new Ghostbusters for the all-female cast, but it pissed me off in a lot of ways.
Musical ending. Anyway, let's move on. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Although actually,
characters, it's a franchise, different, not New York, maybe a different country, because so much broader. And maybe every episode.
Isn't that the new film though? Isn't that the new film?
No. It's the kids inheriting.
Kids.
So all the main characters are like
Stranger Things Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
So it's not a remake. It's not a. But it's
no, it's like the grandkids find Ecto-1 and shit.
There's stuff I know about the plot I don't want to talk about, but I'll talk to you later about it, Downey.
So I've been talking to the writers.
No, I've just been doing a lot of research because it's Ghostbusters. And I was before like everything happened with the world, I was going to do Ectocon next year, so I was going to be meeting like real life, the real Ghostbusters cartoon voice actor that did Laura Smith. Laura something, sorry. So I was going to be meeting her before, but I might still do the con, so we'll see. But yeah, I'll be doing a lot of research on the new film, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's all I'll say. I'll talk to everybody off stream about it.
I
John
would like
signed an
to
NDA.
see. I would like to see a remake of Batman of the Future. That's the one I would like to see, because this one, it wasn't as popular as the original Batman series, but I think it was just with a bit of more cyberpunky kind of way that they could go with it, or they could just do it as we were discussing, like years later, as he became properly Batman.
Is that different from Batman Beyond? Are they different shows?
I'm proper Batman now.
I think it was. Was it called Batman Beyond or Batman of the Future? Because I
thought it was
can't
Batman
remember.
Beyond, but am I getting confused with a different show altogether?
No, because there was. Hang on. Sorry, I've got a few of the Batman ones. I'm just going to go back through them now.
I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Because there
Batman
was
Beyond I really
Batman.
like, but I don't. Future.
Because there was Batman the animated series, and then there was Batman and Robin. Had like a limited run.
Mice in your room, John. They're burping a bit.
God damn it. God damn you, burp it. No, it's these guys. These guys. They've been at the fucking cider. They've been trying to get in for so long, they're just drinking now.
I wouldn't mind a reboot of Daria. Because
that's very 90s though.
There we go.
It is very 90s. I watched the Beavis and Butthead film before I'd ever really watched Beavis and Butthead because I didn't have access to MTV. But I remember I had to choose which film to tape that night. You know, when VHSs couldn't do more than one thing, and I had to choose between Romeo and Juliet on Channel 4, or I had to have Beavis and Butthead Do America on BBC. And I chose to video Beavis and Butthead Do America on BBC because there'd be no ads, and I watched Romeo and Juliet. Fine. I then must have rewatched that film over and over and over and over and over. But whilst not watching Beavis and Butthead, I was watching Daria on Channel 5. And I really liked the snarky, sarcastic humour. I would quite like to see that up to date because I think a lot of the themes in it would really transfer to like current culture, you know, with the rise of like non-binary and everything else. I think it would be really, really good. It'd be really interesting to see where it goes. Or maybe to see Daria as one of like the really disillusioned teachers now, or... But yeah, I think that would be quite cool.
There was going to be a Daria reboot this year, and it was cancelled. As you were talking about it, I was like, this is familiar. This is very familiar.
But yeah, that would have been mine as a reboot.
It's a killer. Oh dear. Oh.
Speaking of killers, I got someone in to clean my window. He's got.
Oh!
It's a new background.
There's 5 of them. It's just the zombie one is the one that you could just keep on and on because everything else is just very fucking repetitive.
Right. I think it's time to test your guys' knowledge.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Okay.
Chat, get fucking ready.
Help me, guys. Help me. You're my only hope.
Some of this will bring back a bit of nostalgia. Some of these are really hard, by the way. You can tell the first. Oi.
Am I the only person that's got like very dark atmospheric lighting?
I can make ours. Hang on.
I color coded mine for the salad, so it's like tomatoes and lettuce. There's no one noticed my narrative lighting that I put up today.
Yes, we all did. We all did.
Absolutely.
Just didn't want to boost your ego. Look, Matt is totally acknowledging that. Yep. See, look at that. See, we all did.
Right. Is everybody ready? Gladiators, ready.
Contenders are ready.
No
3,
2,
1.
Jiggle
All right.
your booty.
Cat, please help me.
So, first question. What is the name of the prehistoric superhero that travels with teen girls?
What the fuck?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Who?
What is the name of the prehistoric superhero that travels with teen girls?
Oh, hang on.
Chat.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Chat will help. You can get help from your chat.
Question, isn't it?
So the rules are only chat can help us. We cannot use devices or anything.
No devices, only your chat.
Right, so
Your
only
community
chat.
is your source. If you're not sure.
What you saying,
Teenage
Steve? What you saying?
girls, prehistoric.
You saying that? I was gonna go with. So not. Oh, hang on.
Oh, sorry, Peppy.
Sorry, that way can be helpful.
So not that then. So you're going with this. So hang on. It's just do saying.
Nico. Thank you very much.
Ah.
My chat are all lurkers. I'm fucked. I can see like someone's like hello, and then on the bottom of the screen is like has just signed into New World on Steam. You're like, okay, cheers, mate.
All right.
I've got a lead. I've got right.
You got a
Stu,
lead.
Can you confirm if are you thinking your one over my one? I've got both here, so it's okay. I'll go with you more than me.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Second question. In Ren and Stimpy, there are many different fairies. What is the name of the one that helps relieve stinky gums? Told you, some of these are hard. It's quite a famous Ren and Stimpy episode. So,
Oh, right, Stu. Right, okay, right.
what is the name of the one that relieves stinky gums?
Right, Stu, I've got you for that. Stu, number 2, please. Please tell me number 2. Come on, buddy. Don't let me down here. I've got no fucking clue.
Yes, it's
I
wrong.
used to watch it. I'm guessing, but
It's-
I've got a
How
vague idea.
evil a mood were you in when you did this?
I was angry this morning with some stuff at work. So,
It's yours!
Where's
Take
Carl?
yours. Just take yours.
all right. Next question. In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who taught Master Splinter the art of ninjutsu?
Oh, fuck me.
Oh,
Oh, fuck me.
That's the easiest one so far. Well,
That-
I'll say
it
now,
goes up and down.
I'll get it wrong. I'll get
Just
it
in the
wrong.
cartoons, though, not in the films.
Ah, it's the cartoon.
Not the comics, the cartoon, not the
Mhm.
films. 'Cause it could vary if you're looking at comics, cartoon, and film.
Well, if you know all three, put them all down. You might get bonus points. So everyone's looking at their chat. Give me the answers. Give me what's going on.
Why not have conversation about completely other stuff? My chat have abandoned me.
Oh,
Come on, mate. Come on, Stu. Come on, everybody. Come on. Streaky,
Yeah.
you're still
Thank
here.
you, Raven.
Come on, Streaky.
I don't want to spend too long on these, so I'm going to move on.
Rosie.
Yeah.
Come on, Rosie. Don't
In
leave
the
me now. Stu's
Jetsons-
pulling the weight here in chat.
Oh, Jetsons. Yes. Come on.
In the Jetsons, what was the name of the robot maid?
Oh shit! I'm gonna kick myself when you say this because I should know this.
In the Jetsons, what was the name of the robot maid?
I want to say that.
And I think John's got a bit of a cheat because I think because of the mod's name. Hint to everybody.
Fucking hell! Okay, I'm not even close. But I'm closer now.
Oh.
Yeah. Thanks to chat, we've got 4 out of 4 now. I'm feeling very confident.
Okay, the next one
I know.
is a
Come on,
bit of a
guys, come on,
bitch.
Stu.
The next one is an absolute cunt of a question. In DuckTales, what is what is Gizmodo's secret identity?
Oh, I watched this recently. So recently.
How angry were you?
So angry! You have no idea how bad things are at work.
Thank you, Stu. That's confirmed number 4 for me.
You're gonna say his name. I'm gonna be like, obviously,
We're
but right
missing
now I
2
can't
and
think
3.
of it.
It's okay. Number 5 is.
Yes.
Oh, I don't fucking know
This is
that.
like, it's
I
something.
suddenly wrote down
I think-
DuckTales, and I've now crossed it out and put stupid DuckTales.
I think you know his first name. I'm gonna guess his surname, but I'm sure his first name is right.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
DC, I've written it down, but we'll go for it. I don't know.
this
Next
is a total
one.
guess, but I'll get it.
Come on, Rosie. Come on. Stu's pulling the chat here. Come on. Come on, I'm trusting you.
Remember, this is for five
Don't help
five
me,
subs.
By the way,
So,
help me. She's got
who
tons of help.
discovered? Next question. Who discovered metal bending in Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I
I've
don't-
never
I've
watched
never seen
Avatar.
it. I've never seen it.
Never seen Avatar.
Never seen it.
Oh, this is going well. No, I've never seen it.
You're just making shit up now. Thanks, Rosie. Thanks. Oh my god.
You can see
Is that
which
your
communities
actual
hate
answer, or are
their
you just shouting
streamers.
at me in caps? Like, I've written it.
I've made a
Thank-
name.
Thanks,
Is that-
Jinx.
This is not gonna be the username for everything now.
So there's.
We played together today. Come in and help me.
What is the name of Dennis the Menace's dog?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh yeah.
There's a statue of this dog in the city I grew up in.
Yeah, I've got that as well.
Yeah, we got that.
I grew up reading those comics at my granddad's
You grew
house.
up reading the newer comics.
Yeah, true. No, they were my
Oh,
granddad's.
the
They were
old
older.
ones from the
Yeah.
50s. And
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an old
Yeah,
cartoon.
we got that, guys. We got that. We're golden. We're golden.
Yep.
Is that a cartoon question or a comic
Yep.
question?
There was a
there
Dennis
was
the
a
Menace
cartoon.
cartoon.
Oops.
Yeah, it was on ITV.
It wasn't great.
That's probably why I don't remember it.
Okay, next question. Which cartoon series features a fighter who trapped in a dystopian future and must fight against a shape-shifting demon?
Is that not like 7 things?
Oh, got you. Fucking yes, John.
There's trapped in dystopian future.
Features a
Must fight.
fighter who trapped in a dystopian future and must fight against a shape-shifting demon.
Yep, I've got you.
Oh,
It's alright. I've had one from the chat.
better one.
They're the upper hand
Alright.
by having actual chats. Actual audiences.
There we
You're
go.
filling it down, eh? You're filling it. You're fine. You've got plenty of support.
Yeah, but we all share like users and they all watch you guys.
All right, next
They
question.
only watch you when you guys are not online.
In Invader Zim, who leads the Invader race?
Fuck me.
Fuck knows.
Got it.
Fuck me.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got
Oh,
it. Got it.
You
Got
gotta
it.
get it right, miss.
Did. Oh, well done, you.
There we go.
Come on.
So
on.
these
I take
these
it, I'm just
one of my
questions
waiting
are
for
friends-
all
Rosie
over
to
the
go
place.
One of my friends has this nickname off me because they are 6'4",
on. Rosie, it's not a fucking hedgehog.
and I'm 5'3", so I'm like, yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. I totally forgot that existed.
Oh my god, yes.
And that's a very good thing because there's an awful Mario one as well we don't want to talk about. I'm a huge Mario fan, but no, the cartoon's bad.
And there was a Games Master, which was old Nintendo cartoon. Yep. Okay, next question. Inspector Gadget had a niece. What was her name?
Fuck me.
You're gonna know that.
Of course I am.
One of 2, and they both have
Thank
the
you.
same sounding name. And I can't think which one that is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna guess
DC,
one of
we've
the
got
others.
that. Like
Ooh.
Duck
Gonna
was
guess
all
one
over
of
that.
those.
Duck
I
wave
actually quite like the
This is
film.
question 12, yes? This is question 12.
10.
10.
10.
10?
Wave.
Fuck!
John's
All
doing
right.
well.
I think that was... I mean, I've thrown in some easier ones. So, who is the youngest member of the Musker Hounds?
Oh, that's easy.
Who the fuck are the Musker Hounds?
Who?
Oh, the Dogtanian.
Well, there you go, to tell everybody.
Fuck's sake. No. You need to... Fuck's
Oh my
sake.
god, you've literally just. Oh.
Yeah, I used to watch that and used to love that.
I thought that was the name of the cartoon, and he wasn't. Oh, fuck's
Yes,
sake.
it is, but
All for one and one for all. Mr. Hands are always ready. All for one and one for all. La 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 la. Don't give us all the answer. La 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 la.
Next question. What was used to resurrect Count Duckula from his eternal slumber?
This is question
Remember-
12.
Boris's profile picture for years was Count Duckula because they had the same hair.
Excellent. Excellent,
Really?
people.
yes,
Really?
Yes, it's 12.
yes,
Really?
really,
Really?
really.
That's fucking ridiculous.
I wouldn't.
Explain-
It's a
I'll
dog.
explain why when it's no longer a helpful clue to the other players.
Yep,
Right,
yep,
just
yep,
putting
yep.
this down and going. It's like,
Thank you,
oh, okay.
thanks, guys. Thank you for that.
Question 13
We're
then.
all in
Okay.
agreement.
Oh yes, question 5, chat. I love you, chat. Thank you, chat.
Wendy Testaburger, Pip Pirrup, and Butterscotch Stotch are characters in which series?
Got it.
Thanks.
That's easy.
Told you there's some easier ones in
now.
here.
Is this the
Got
point
it.
where you got less angry in your morning?
This is after my cup of tea.
You're like, a bit nicer now.
However, this one's a slightly harder question.
Somebody pissed you off after your tea.
Which superhero was that sucked into the internet and went mildly insane? And as a bonus part of that, the show is named after the main character.
Thank you, DC. Love you, DC.
See, I don't think it's My Little Pony.
I remember that.
Oh
It's
no,
the
I'm
internet,
fucking
right,
sad
you
I'm
think?
Oh, that's the name of the cartoon I couldn't remember the other day. Thank you.
No,
We have DC Master of
I'm
all
drawing a
things.
blank, guys. What you got for me? Nothing.
Do not go into Wee John's chat and help him. Just help
You
him.
definitely
No.
fucking help me.
I'm into 80 designs and help him because he's like
Right,
the
you.
of this whole game.
Look,
Anyone.
you could get streamers bribing you now. Just come into our chats and like pimp yourself out. You're like, I'll tell you the answer. What's it gonna cost?
All
I'll
right,
give you one
next
free
question.
overlay for each answer that's correct.
What was the
I'll give you a
name?
free Nerf gun for every answer.
Next
that's
question.
correct.
What was the name of the villain in the Raccoons?
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
The
yeah.
villain and the
off.
Raccoons. Rosie, the villain and the Raccoons. Come on.
Rosie Raccoon, yeah, that's the one.
Come on, Rosie.
Oh,
Stu,
yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? Oh shit,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Fuck it, yeah.
Damn you, Rosie! My secret raccoon
Rosie,
knowledge is
no.
strong.
Rosie, come here and look at my boobs.
What the hell?
Look at my boobs covered in tacos.
Rosie,
In my Invader Zim t-shirt.
You leave my Rosie alone.
Rosie, I'm being hate raided. Come mod my channel quickly. I'm
You
being
leave
hate
Rosie
raided.
alone.
Rosie, come mod my channel quickly.
Jinx, it's
It's all
okay,
go-
we've got it.
it's
We
all
can
going
find
down.
you the answer to that.
Another easy question.
Stay here.
I literally went up one viewer when it happened.
What is the name of the show where small toddlers have imaginary adventures?
Oh, that's
right, yeah.
easy.
I told you there's going to be some easy ones.
Got that.
Well, that could be several ones.
It's
It could.
so none of us get 0 points.
Can we specify they human toddlers?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because it could have been Dino babies
not-
playing in a restoring.
They're not.
Maybe
They're
another
not
one as well.
Muppet babies.
Muppet,
I mean,
Muppet Babies.
Right.
they're not Muppet babies.
We didn't even bring up
They went
Dino
on some
babies.
amazing adventures.
Help.
Oh god, Dino Riders. That just hit me as a
Yeah,
truck out
Oh
of
no,
nowhere.
Dino
I've got
babies
that,
as
Rosie.
well.
Mm.
I've got that. But yeah, I thought Muppet Babies as well because they do
Dino
imaginary
babies
adventures.
playing in a prehistoric
This one
land.
is not back to a difficult question. Who was the German composer that was parodied by Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd in What Opera Doc?
Oh yeah, I know this.
Oh, yep, because that's the
Full name?
What the fuck is what? Did somebody piss you off even more?
Full name or
Was
just
it like a roller coaster of a fucking morning? You had your tea and then you got shit on again.
full name or just surname?
Yeah, I will take the surname.
Yes, Stu. Yes, Stu's
I'm
like,
still probably wrong. I'm still wrong, but I just still not.
Next question then. Which of Soundwave's cassettes from Transformers turned into a panther?
They had
oh,
names?
You've got tape 1 and tape 2.
They had names? Yeah, they had
A
names.
side, B
I'm
side.
gonna hang on, Chip. I'm going with that.
They all had names.
They did.
No,
They
you
all had
didn't. You
names.
lie.
I can
They did.
picture the tape turning into a panther, but I didn't have a fucking name.
I can hear Soundwave's voice telling.
I didn't have
Telling
any
me
of the
what it is.
tapes. I had Soundwave, but tapeless
Oh,
stuff. They just had
man.
an empty little cassette box.
Oh,
that you could
man.
open, like a sad loser with no music.
Matt, your childhood.
I know. And they're walking around with soundless
Black
Soundwave.
Ops, you're in chat. Thank fuck.
Guys, this is
Yeah.
the only one we haven't got an answer for. Question 18. Come on.
Chat, no pressure. Lettuce is giving away 5 subs for the person that gets this right. So no pressure. I should have mentioned this at the start. Come on. We're gonna fucking win this or I'll kill you all.
Next question then.
Gone into
All right.
red for anger.
What is SpongeBob's pet snail's name?
Oh, for fuck's sake, I've never
He's got a
watched
pet fucking. I
SpongeBob.
don't fucking know.
Oh, my brain. Why's my brain gone wrong? Oh yeah, I've got it.
Oh, yeah, the chat got it as
Damn
well.
you, chat! I am useful.
Oh, yeah, you and the chat are the same. That's fine.
Cool.
Give me an answer to Soundwave, chat. Come on.
Thank you, Black Ops. You guys have been amazing.
Next
We've only
question.
missed.
In Rick and Morty, what is Beth's occupation?
Yeah, I know that.
Fuck? Does she even go to work ever?
Yes.
Yeah, she's. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's...
Fuck.
And this one actually be full. I need the full occupation that she has. So
Oh God.
I can't even
you
imagine her even
bitch.
leaving the house. What the
What
fuck?
the fuck's her full occupation? I just got
Yep.
the main.
Yeah, we've got the full.
Yep.
We think.
okay.
Oh no, Black Ops, nope. Uzi, come on, Stu. I mean, I know generally what she does because there's that was whole. Yeah.
All right.
Oh no. No.
Next
she-
question. When Dexter in Dexter's laboratory has an accident learning French, which food item can he only say?
I know this one.
Okay, Black Ops.
So
I
First
love
word.
Dexter's laboratory.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys have
I
chat.
forgot
You'll
about
be
that and the
fine.
Powder Puff Girls as well.
Anyone, Dexter's Laboratory. Come on, guys. Black Ops. Come on. Time to shine, baby.
Oh, fuck.
Right, next one. In The Simpsons, what is Seymour Skinner's original name?
Original.
Oh shit! Oh fuck me sideways! Damn it!
I'm taking a guess.
Seymour, yeah?
Seymour Skinner's original name.
Oh. Jinx,
Yeah.
Jinx has got the problem.
Thank you.
I can't be your
Oh.
Twitter bitch and general knowledge hero. Alpha's buggered off. Come on,
That was
Rosie, you
dangerous.
can. You got Black Ops and Stu backing you up. You got the dream team.
Next
here in
question.
chat.
Which horrible abomination to nature is a combination of two opposing household pets?
What?
Oh, I've got that.
Oh, never mind. Got it.
Thank
I mean-
you, Raven.
That made no sense until it made sense by thinking of cartoons.
Yeah, DC, you're right. Yeah, that's what I've put.
Totally losing.
And then I'm going to finish off on
Okay.
a very.
that's 24,
we got two more. So,
Yep.
what
Okay,
is
Black Ops. We'll go
the
with
next
that.
question? Is what is used in the potion that allows gummy bears to bounce?
Oh, that's easy.
I do.
That's
Oh,
easy, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to finish on a pretty difficult question.
Yay.
Yay.
Sorry.
What is the
Okay.
name
Yeah.
of the planet that the Thundercats arrive on after the destruction of their homeworld?
Oh fuck! Fuck! I know where they left. Is it? Did they just okay?
And that was the
Was
final
Mum not
question.
happy with that, Stu? I don't know if Mama would be happy with that, but fair enough.
All right.
thanks, DC. I'll put it down because we haven't got anything else.
Probably not.
Are we ready?
Give it-
Are we ready for the
There's
answers?
better lighting so we can see.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
Less anger.
Oh god. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right.
Gonna-
So the question was, what is the name of the prehistoric superhero that travels with teen girls? And the answer is Captain Caveman.
Yes.
Fucking yes. Right. That's
Not
Fucking
Denver
love
or
you,
Last
Dan.
Dinosaur.
No, that was another. Just everyone was with teens in those days. So this is the
I'm
only
taking
time
a
it was.
screenshot of everyone currently in chat, and if we win, you're all getting so many shinies.
Next question then. In Ren and Stimpy, there are many different types of the many different fairies. What is the name of the one that relieves stinky gums? And the answer is the nerve-ending fairy.
Yeah, we didn't get that
See?
one. We got
It
the
was
first one,
horrible.
we got the first.
Absolutely horrible episode where they was picking out little nerve endings from the gums with tweezers and then putting them on their arms and going to sleep, and it would putting them under the pillow. Oh, it's terrible. Next question.
Like Bum Rat, do you, Black Ops? Jesus.
In Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who taught Master Splinter the art of ninjutsu? And the answer was Hamato Yoshi.
Ugh.
Thank
Master
you
Yoshi.
so much, Raven.
Horace is now here
Oh,
after the quiz.
After the
we'll
quiz.
Rewind the quiz.
Can we start the quiz again, please? The Horace is here. He's away.
All right.
He's gone.
the question. In the Jetsons, what was the name of the robot maid? The answer is
Rosie.
Rosie the robot.
Yeah.
Yay!
Thanks for the hint. Or is that I'm being zero right now?
Next question then. This one actually was very difficult because it's sort of in DuckTales, what is Gizmodo's secret identity? A lot of people think it's Launchpad McQuack, but it isn't. It is Fenton Crackshell Cabrera.
Do you
Really?
accept Fenton?
Curtis.
Fenton.
In DuckTales,
Oh,
what's
it's okay, Black Ops. It's okay.
We have
what's the
Fenton.
character called again?
Don't
The
worry.
character- The robot character who's got like a man in a robot suit.
That's Gizmodo. Yeah.
Oh, Mega Duck.
Yeah, Gizmodo. Oh, so Megaduck's the person in the suit and Gizmodo's his name.
No, I think
Oh, I got completely misunderstood that question. Never mind.
Okay.
Is it Mega
Next
Duck
question.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want the cigarettes out? Do you have any?
In my coat pocket.
Yeah.
Give me the ciggies.
Give me them.
Tropical murder.
Next question. Who discovered metal bending in Avatar: The Last Airbender? The answer is Toph.
Don't fucking watch
Of course
this.
it is.
Yay.
Of course it is. It's not. It's definitely not Joey the Girder Herder.
Be good.
Yes, chat. 6 for 6.
We're doing a quiz tropical. Unfortunately, you've arrived too late. It's now the painful time of the quiz where I find out.
You get to watch me lose, which is awesome.
What is the name of Dennis the Menace's dog? The answer is Nasha.
Yes.
I'm on 2. Yes.
I'm one ahead of you. I'm one ahead of you, bitch.
Yes, I'm so losing this game. I'm so
I'm
losing this game.
totally.
Okay, which cartoon series features a fighter who's trapped in a dystopian future and must fight against a shape-shifting demon? The answer is Samurai Jack. Back to the Past,
Honestly,
Samurai Jack.
Ashamedly, never seen it. But if you asked that, well, Curtis was here, he would have definitely known the answer.
The same animation as the early Clone Wars.
Makes me upset.
Yeah.
Makes me upset.
20-minute episodes. It's fucking awesome.
They did a
answer was Samurai
continuation
Jack.
series on that, which was awesome as well. So they did a second series.
Make ADs and watch them.
Mhm.
Okay.
Love Samurai.
This one I would be surprised if Kat didn't get. Invader Zim, who leads the Invader race. And the answer is the tallest.
Not Captain Behemoth. No, okay.
It's close. I'll give you half a point for that.
Yes.
Because they're taller than everybody else. That's it.
I would
That's
have
all
put
it is.
shit down.
If I come second by half a point, I'll be so happy. I'm not going to win, obviously, but if I come second by half a point, I'll be so happy.
9 for 9.
Inspector Gadget had a niece. What was her name? The answer was Penny.
Yes.
Yep.
Also, everyone I get right. By the way, guys, everyone I get right is purely on my own because my chat was not there. So if anyone's won here, I've won.
The moral victory. There we go.
Yeah. This is
So,
purely
who was
just
the
me.
youngest member of the Musker Hounds? I think we had a shout out answer there,
Yeah,
which is
we did,
Dog
yeah.
Tanyan.
Tanyan. Yep. So that's it.
Fuck's sake. But
There you
would
go.
you all have got it if I hadn't shouted out? Like,
Yes.
Yes.
would your chat
Yes.
say it? Yeah. So
Matt,
yeah,
Matt knew it. Matt knew it.
no guilt there. No guilt. It's fine.
Okay. Next question then. What was used to resurrect Count Duckula from his eternal
Ketchup.
slumber? And the answer is ketchup.
Oh, I guess garlic. Thinking like, oh, it'd be clever, wouldn't it?
That's why he's a vegetarian. Because they get the ritual wrong, and that's why he's a vegetarian.
Oh, I've never seen
Ducky
it.
poos.
Oh no, it's
Natty
Ryan.
poos. All right, my ducky poos.
The next one was quite an easy question. Wendy Testaburger, Pip Pirrup, and
Yeah,
Butters
South
Stotch are characters of South Park.
That's when you get a cup of tea. That's fine.
Now, this one was a difficult question if you'd never seen it. So, which superhero was sucked into the internet and went mildly insane? The answer is Freakazoid.
Freakazoid.
No idea what the fuck.
Thanks,
I'd-
DC.
Yep. It was one of these sort of. It started off as sort of Animaniacs character that went off and had its own show.
Oh,
Yep. What was the next
It's me,
question?
I
What was the
guess.
name? What was the name of the villain in the Raccoons? The answer is Cyril Sneer.
oh, that's obvious now.
Thank you, Rosie.
Fuck's sake. Bet they're fucking googling it.
And Stu as well. God, if they were Googling it, I'd be getting like all of them by now.
Mhm.
I'd be getting like.
What is the name of the show where small toddlers, and we said humans, have imaginary adventures? Is Rugrats.
Hey.
Next question was, who was the German composer that was parodied by Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd in What's Opera's Doc? And the answer is Richard Wagner.
Yeah.
Wagner, if you've
One of
written
my
it,
favourite
will be
cartoons of all
accepted.
time.
I can't believe I got that right. by
Kill the
guessing it.
wabbit, kill the wabbit.
Yeah, you guessed that one.
I also did study music, so that is that
Yeah,
as
fair
well.
enough. Fair enough. That's a good one.
Given how much Jackbox our channel plays, I know that their general knowledge is on point.
Which of
is probably
Soundwave's
getting-
cassettes
That was also
transformed into a panther
Ravager.
in Transformers?
No
Ravage.
idea.
Ravage.
Do I get it for
Oh.
Ravager? No.
I'll give you Ravager, but it's Ravage.
Right, guys, so far we've 17 out of 18. Well done.
Guys, so far we have 11. And I love
What
you all.
is SpongeBob's pet snail's name?
Gary?
Larry?
Gary. Gary the
Fuck's
snail.
sake. I wrote Gunther. I was right with the G.
Black Ops, Stu, Rosie, you're doing great. You're doing great, guys. We're not going to win, but we're doing good. I'm happy.
In Rick and Morty, what was Beth's occupation? The answer was a horse veterinarian.
Yeah.
Veterinarian.
I know that now.
Specifically for horses.
If I put horse vet, is that okay?
Horse vet's fine. Yep.
Cool.
See,
Just
literally, as you're saying this, though, Curtis is in the chat answering them all. Fucking correct, by the way. All
Where were
correct.
you a minute ago, Curtis? Where were you?
In bed. He
I
works
could have
night
won
shift.
this, Chris. Nope.
He
yeah,
works-
it's just
He
no
works night
relationship
shift.
pressure now.
Yeah, he works night shift, so he was in bed. And holy fuck, like literally every time you raise it up, he posts it in the chat, and it's correct. It's always right. It's always fucking right. I'm okay. I'm fine. I don't feel.
You didn't
I
need
don't-
a
I don't
community. You
feel-
just needed Curtis.
I don't feel let down.
Curtis, it's not you, it's all him.
All right.
That's
The next
single.
one.
Every point I get is all me.
When Dexter in Dexter's laboratory had an accident learning French, which food item can he only say? The answer is omelette du fromage.
Fromage.
Omelette
Yes.
du fromage. And he picks up a lot of girls in that by just whispering in their ears, omelette du
Of course, that's
fromage.
exactly what he typed. That's exactly what he typed. Of course it is. Fucking hell.
Oh my God, don't beat yourself up. It's okay.
Yeah, there's one person going to be up tonight.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Fucking coming for you, Curtis. I'm coming for you.
Oh, Jesus.
So, in The Simpsons, what is Seymour Skinner's original name from? And the answer is Armin Tamzarian.
Yes. Thank you, Raven.
Rosie, Rosie, you love Simpsons. I thought you
When
would
he,
know that.
because he took over Seymour Skinner's identity when he came back
That's
from
right.
Vietnam.
That is right.
I know the episode, but yeah, I just don't remember his name.
And guess who knew that? Guess who knew it? Guess who knew that? Fucking
Maybe
hell.
Curtis knew that, like he knows everything.
Honestly, every
What?
pub quiz we've done, we've won first place, but not because of me, because of Curtis.
Who's supposed to be streaming?
He's Rain Man, is who he fucking is. Apparently, it's the lowest rated episode of the first 8 seasons. Thanks, Curtis.
There you go. Which
I got a bonus
horrible
point for that, right?
abomination? Which horrible abomination to nature that is a combination of two opposing household pets? And the answer is cat dog.
Dog.
One fine day with a wolf for the burrow, baby with
Thank
pony
you, chat,
cousins.
for that. I forgot who told me because I didn't have a fucking clue.
What is the name of the potion that allows gummy bears to bounce?
Gummy berry
And
juice.
it's gummy berry juice.
Thank you, darling. I did not know that, but Matt did.
I got Jello.
Yeah, it's gummy berry juice.
We've only
That's what-
gotten one wrong, guys. I'm so proud of you.
What is the name of the planet that the Thundercats arrive on after the destruction of their homeworld? And the answer is Third Earth.
Oh, no, we got two wrong. There we go.
Fuck me.
Curtis says that going bears
Thundera.
before his time, so you didn't get that one.
New
But-
Thundera, damn it. I thought it was New Thundera.
Third Earth.
Hmm.
And there we go. So what's the results? You said it's going to be Cat and Cat's ridiculous community that Jack boxes like twice or 3 times a week.
23 out of 25.
Or shameless Googling, whatever. You know.
Rosie, Stu, Black Ops, I salute you all. We've got 40.
DC, Nico, Raven, Jinx. Yay!
Don't worry. I'm sure for the losers, don't worry. I will certainly probably drop a lot of biddies on your streams as a condolence prize. Do not worry about
Unleash
it.
the harpies. Unleash the harpies. This is unacceptable.
Half a
no
point.
survivors. Unleash
Half,
them all. Kill
you must know
everybody.
you had more than half a point. You said you got one
Oh.
right.
9.5.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, there you go. It's not that
I'm
bad.
missing this whole big giant 9 here.
I can't see anything.
I can
You're
see a
holding up a
ping.
piece of white paper. Your lighting is destroying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your lighting.
There we go, 9.5.
9.5.
No.
There we go.
We did well, guys. We did really fucking well.
So
I did try-
honestly,
it was
honestly, for a
tough.
channel Who doesn't aim to win? We did pretty well, people.
I didn't have a Curtis on my team, and now Curtis is on my team during the.
You would have got 25 out of 25.
We would have got probably about 20. So I'd say that, I guess.
Someone's not allowed to sleep next salad banter.
Someone. I actually went through. Excuse me. I went through to the bedroom to grab the pen and paper earlier, and I was like, sorry to wake you, but I'm just grabbing pen and paper. But also, we have a quiz, so if you could be up for that, that'd be awesome.
Oh my god!
Trying to bring in the ringer.
During his sleep!
But he's good. He's good at pub quizzes. So
And he doesn't need sleep, apparently. Poor
See what you
Curtis.
did.
he
There we
works
go.
better with no sleep. I keep him on his toes all the time. That's why he slept so late. He doesn't actually work night shift. I just fucking keep him awake all the time, just in case. Like I might get that call from my friend that's on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire as a phone a friend, and you need to be awake for that call.
You need to be on call for quizzes 24/7.
We pay him for that.
Yeah, sure.
Brilliant.
Curtis, come see me. Well,
Curtis Quiz
we'll sort you out.
Services. That.
No, come see me first, Curtis.
I remember
So-
it was during lockdown. His work had like a team building pub quiz, and you were allowed to have like anyone you live with be like a second body to give questions of it. And
Mr.
he
Stone would
won.
have been good for tonight.
He won by like a landslide, and his work were like, "That's not fair. You had Andrew there," and I'm sitting going, "I literally answered 2 of those questions.
I did
Like, just
fuck
2
all.
of them. I did 2 of those questions. The rest were all him, and he won by like a landslide. I think he got 50 quid like cash for winning, or
Fuck me.
a voucher or something like that. But I
No,
was
I'm-
useless.
I'm happy with our I'm happy with
And
our score.
there we go. 5 subs. There we go.
Well done, guys.
Is Cat crying yet? Damn it.
One of them went to Corvus. I don't think he deserves it for not being on tonight. There we go. Can I take that one back?
And gets a free sub out of it.
Yeah, you got a free sub. There we go. That's his consolation prize.
Oh.
He can use the emotes now. What a bastard.
Yes, there we go. Right, so there was a few ones in there a lot of people didn't know. I was surprised that people had trouble with Ravage, actually. I honestly thought people
I
would.
watched it when I was 7.
So you've got
I'm
Laserbeak.
35.
You've got Laserbeak, you've got Ravage, and then you've got the tiny wee guy.
With the arms. I can't remember his
Is he
name.
Shockwave?
And that might have been Shockwave
Shockwave.
because that didn't suit a dog, and I was like,
Yep.
I think that's
See,
Shockwave.
see if you did, if that question was like name all 3 cassettes, fucking boom, Laserbeak, Ravage, and Shockwave.
Well, you said Ravager, so no, John.
Yeah,
you
well,
lose.
no, I still got it though. It was close enough.
It was.
You know, the Quizmaster had wiggle room.
If I was Quizmaster, I would also give you a point for Ravager. Just to be
Good, good. I might join your quizzes in the future.
fair. Like I'm going to put on
There
a
you go.
fucking quiz.
So a part of that quiz, I tried to be just a full gamut. I tried to do like a bit of the 80s, a bit of the 90s, kind of modern
It
ones
was
as
a
well.
good varied quiz. It was a good varied. Just unfortunate that I is
Good night,
I-
Rosie.
very
Thanks for
fun.
popping in.
my team was not a team.
Take care. Thanks for being here. We love you.
So what I was going to go on to the next point is, so now we've got the quiz done. Is there any hard questions you think, or that I should have asked, or any questions you think I should have asked?
I would have put one in called "What gives you the itis?" or "In what cartoon do you get the itis?"
So what cartoon gives you the heebie-jeebies, or you just avoid it like
No,
the
it's
plague,
literally
or
the word "the itis." You get the itis.
the itis?
Mm.
Oh, I don't know.
So it's this cartoon called Boondocks, and they open like a fried chicken and gravy
The
restaurant.
Boondocks, yeah.
And you eat too much of it, you get the itis, and you have to go have a nap.
Asleep.
So it's got
Yeah,
like
'cause they
beds upstairs.
Oh yeah, Renegade Tigger and showed me that. He got me into that.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause the
And it
food's
was
so
called
good
the
that-
itis.
And then the people lost their jobs and stuff, and they were homeless because they were eating so much.
And it was just a way to devalue the area. It was really fucked up.
But yeah, because they installed beds, so people were like, oh, and they're like,
Yeah.
Almost like it's based on reality.
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there was something. She's like, oh, I was successful in this, and then I started eating here, and now I'm like drug addicts basically.
That's the joke.
So there was a few there that, for example, I was also quite surprised no one had seen Freakazoid, for example, because I loved
Freakazoid?
it.
I watched Animaniacs. I'd never seen I don't even remember Freakazoid from Animaniacs either.
No idea what that is.
It's sort of like if you took Jim Carrey and you made him a superhero. pretty much.
Oh, that sounds dreadful.
Yeah, it was zany, out of the weird, crazy ass stuff that he would do. But he sort of had like the powers of the mask powered by the internet. So it was sort of just all over the place, mentalness.
I remember Freakazoid.
Yep. So I'd certainly maybe have a look at it on the YouTubes. I do recommend it. And I'm surprised a lot of people got Richard Wagner. So got too many cultured people in here.
No, that was Matt's favourite.
It's because it's Tannhauser, and it's actually one of my favourite cartoons ever. That and Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century are my two favourite standalone cartoons. For about 5 minutes each, they're just Duck Dodgers wins slightly because the disintegrator pistol that literally disintegrates, and it's just like, I'm wearing my disintegration-proof vest, and the vest survives, and he's disintegrated. It's just, you can't beat it. It's just such a genius little space sci-fi cartoon that just fucks it up.
I also would like to give a special mention to Star Trek Lower Decks, which is one of my current favourite cartoons.
I haven't seen it yet, yeah.
And Final Space, which is heart-wrenchingly brilliant.
Oh, it's
Final
sad.
Dex was mentioned at work.
So sad.
The guy that I'm replacing that's moving on to do stuff at the unit, he mentioned, because of like my sci-fi, he's like, have you seen it? I was like, I know Jonathan Frakes is in it, but that's all I know. And he was like, you got to watch it. You really have to watch it. I was like, as long as it's better than Discovery. Sorry, Discovery fans. Just
So what?
Star Trek Discovery. That's going to be covered in next podcast on sci-fi and science fiction.
Time to calm Matt down.
How does he not like Discovery? It's not Enterprise.
Let it go. Let it go.
It's not Enterprise.
Save it till next month. Save it till next month.
It's
next. Hold that rage in. Hold it in.
Hold it in.
Keep it back.
Right. Plan something devious.
I love you, Auntie man. I love you. This is why we can never be together. I made that. Okay, right. Move on. For God's sake, somebody move on to something, or me and Matt are just going to have it out.
I'm going to say a special shout out to Tailspin.
Yeah,
I think
Tailspin is an awesome one. The fact that he's surfed on clouds on the back of his
Matt's staring at me. I can feel his gaze. It's penetrating my soul.
Just taking all of the characters from the Jungle Book and just making them into
making them cool in 90s.
Cool and 90s.
On holiday in the Caribbean or wherever they were.
Yeah, it's like Shere Khan is sort of like the leader of the city.
Chat saying Lower Decks is incredible, right? So I guess I have to fucking watch that then.
It's the finale of season 1 has Jonathan Frakes in it. It's fucking tits. It's so good. So good. I was fangirl. I was screaming at the thing. And actually, I'm really disappointed about Discovery. I'm going to bring this up next month. I'm going to write myself a note now because the thing about triples.
Hold it back. Hold it back. Hold it.
I'm writing it down.
What is next month?
I like
science fiction is next month.
I like
science fiction. Oh, I think I'm not on even. I'm not on the list for that because I don't have anything to add to it.
There are flaws to Picard. Irish Romulan.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Hold
it. Quickly.
Easy.
We're bleeding into next month now. It's a spoiler for next month.
Just start now. We'll go on for a month.
Next month's going to be carnage.
I think I will also. I'm going to shout out a lot of the Netflix animations that come out because they had one for Castlevania, which was excellent. Absolutely excellent.
I think I saw that. That was good.
Really, really good. And then they also did one with the same voice actors and animation team. They also did The Witcher animation,
which is that yet.
Really, really good. It's dark, it's visceral, and as we were saying earlier, where you could get away with stuff in animation that you couldn't do in real life. You see that there. So definitely warm recommendations again.
Hands off. She's done. Oh no, Matt's come in. We got Auntie Man up front. He's like, I'm not letting this fucking Star Trek thing go.
It's my chair now.
It's my chair now, bitches. I sit here. You just watch me. I'm gonna say, just a side topic. Successful streamers who have done cartoons. Neebs Gaming. They did their Monster Squad Minecraft series, and I hate Minecraft, but I love that. fucking Neebs' Creeper is amazing, and they did Duralius and Associates, which is kind of like a Witcher type theme. So Neebs Gaming, they do their two
Yeah.
animation series were really, really good. They're really
I
talented.
was religiously watching Battlefield Friends when they did that. So
Oh, Battlefield Friends is good as well, but yeah, just like it's like, yeah, what? Oh, it's all good. It's just like the zombie plague, and then they find out if they bite the zombies, they turn back into people. So they're going around biting. So they're convincing us like, no, you're just gonna bite the zombies. And I'm like, nope. So yeah, Neebs Gaming, very talented, and their animation stuff's pretty bang on for me.
It's a shame this is only on cartoons, because then we could also bring up some of the things like that Rooster Teeth have done, for example, such as Red versus Blue and sort of other animation, sort of animate, but that's sort of not really animation as such. It's more like capture and editing really well.
Yeah, screen capture and voiceover.
Yeah.
So I said Robot Chicken again for their thing, but
Robot
it's not
Chicken.
strictly cartoon.
Robot Chicken is a
Robot
fantastic
Chicken. Oh my god! Robot
interpretation
Chicken's
of.
He-Man. Robot Chicken's He-Man stuff is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You fucking killed He-Man. What the? Yeah, they was like running to Snake Mountain because they fucking killed He-Man, and then like Orko picks up the Sword of Power and turns into He-Man. It's like. Or Fakor like turns up and he's more popular than He-Man. I mean, it's just. Oh and yeah, we need to do like stuff. Yeah.
When I first moved into this flat here, obviously we had no internet for like 2 weeks, so we couldn't stream anything. And I watched nothing but Robot Chicken because that's like one of the only DVDs I have like to hand. So we watched nothing but Robot Chicken for like 2 weeks, and played games that could be played offline. Good times back in the Stone Ages.
But yeah, Robot Chicken, that'd be good. Like stuff like Smurf, not what was he called? The plasticine person. Morph, Pingu.
Yeah.
We could do it like an episode on stuff like Pingu.
A claymation episode.
Claymation. I don't think there's enough content there.
Trapdoor.
Yeah, Trapdoor.
We'll make the fucking content, baby. We'll make it.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'll do Pingu impressions for Biddies. No worries.
Kudo and two strings.
Cheese.
Perfect.
What is the cheese grommet?
Kubo and two strings.
Oh, that's awesome. Actually,
that's a fantastic
really good.
Fantastic
so good.
Movie.
Do serial killers.
Okay. You know when you search podcasts, you can't find our serial killer podcast. Just can't find them.
You can't. No, they're nowhere. There's not enough of them.
My particular favourites have to be either. I'm trying to decide whether it's Sutcliffe or Bundy. It's they both score so highly.
I'm a Dahmer guy, obviously. Obviously.
Oh dear.
Right. The next thing I was going to talk about is like sort of the modern sort of the sort of underground or indie sort of things that are coming out of YouTube for animation and films, because animation cartoons, because there's ones I've been watching recently called Flash Gits, and they do some very dark cartoons, and there's also Harry Partridge, who's done a lot of, so there's a huge community that is currently of new animators that's sort of growing up in YouTube. So it's one of these places that I am really excited about, the sort of future of just 2D animation, because a lot of these have came from the sort of the Newsgrounds and Flash when it died, moved into YouTube, and they're constantly growing. So it's going to be very exciting to see what's going to be coming out next, especially in sort of adult animation. Not adult and like blue.
I know what you're going for.
So we're going to see what's coming up next.
It was a squirrel.
What?
It was a Flash animation with a squirrel that used to swear a lot, and I can't remember what it's called, and he did a Kavorkian scarf.
Oh,
yeah. Squirrely red. Like, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, still going. I know the one exactly you're talking about.
Black Ops, you've not watched the newest He-Man. For God's sake, man, get off this stream and fucking watch the newest He-Man right now. Actually, what the hell is Lovely Bertha?
Bertha, lovely Bertha. It was the big machine. It was an animation which was a big machine which they pumped stuff into that produced all sorts of stuff out the other side. It was a sort of
Right, so I don't
Saturday
have to tell Stu to go to
morning
bed because he's
animation,
gone
but it wasn't a
crazy.
cartoon.
Okay, right. Okay, you're let off the hook, Stu. You can stay.
Yeah, I know.
What
I
about
got
Charlie
you.
Chalk?
Charlie Chalk.
I remember Charlie Chalk.
That goes back to the start of our fucking podcast. We were talking about
Yeah.
the
Black Ops
classics.
has joined in like the end partway through
Yep.
whatever. I don't know what time.
They're just going to shout out those
hey,
ones.
Hey,
And there's
Alex.
Pigeon Street.
Pigeon Street. I've
Oh,
shown you
Mention
Pigeon
the-
Street.
What the
I
fuck
love
is
the theme song.
what the fuck is
Now,
Pigeon Street?
Jamie and the Magic Torch, I think, is my earliest memory of a cartoon.
I'm gonna, now that Alex is here, I'm gonna do Star Wars shout outs. So we've got droids, we've got Ewoks.
Not a big fan of Ewoks.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
wasn't either.
I
Just
just,
shut them out.
I'm not a fan of them in the film in the first place, so they gave them their own series that
I
wasn't
have an
good.
entire legion of my best troops on the forest moon who are now getting fucked by tiny teddy bears with primitive Stone Age weapons.
That's so ridiculous.
Why do we rule the galaxy again? Also, I don't invest in hand railings. What? Anyway. I'm not gonna go
That
to
was
Ewoks.
very surreal show, actually, the Magic Torch.
Mr. Ben!
Magic Torch, yeah, Mr. Ben again was like, but yeah, that's really hedging onto my like early memories of watching anything, cartoon wise. And Mysterious Cities of Gold is the one that
Rosie mentioned that before she left.
Yeah.
The Golden Condor.
I
Check out
remember
Aliens.
having
what the fuck are
one.
you talking about?
I
Mysterious
don't know when I
Cities of
stopped
Gold,
watching it.
eh?
But it was, yeah.
Yeah, my parents talk about that.
I am your
No
father.
fucking idea.
It was mid 80s that came out.
Aztecs, gold, aliens, flying condor. For God's sake, people! it's
Giant
just me and
floating
Auntie Mac who
head.
were saying-
But I have to, I don't know how
We're
it's,
not old.
I don't know how it's dodged it, but Scooby Doo. It's like every week's the same plot, but you're still sat there riveting because the ghost's chasing them.
Doesn't
Even
matter.
better than
It's
that,
episode
you
of
have a genre
Supernatural.
of TV show like Sherlock, Elementary, House, that are all the Scooby Doo plots.
Is it just me that thinks? I just keep hoping that at the end of the episode, it's not the ground. It's an actual fucking monster. I'm never going to give up on that dream.
Because
I just
Fred's
want one
so
episode
smug.
where they, like,
Fred's
it's like,
smug every time when he's taking a mask off and he's
Yeah,
trying to
it's like,
take
no,
Dracula's
no,
hair
it's
off.
actually, and then it just starts eviscerating everybody.
Was in the
Scooby
movie.
and Shaggy get it because they're so high. That's it.
I've not seen New Scooby Doo Jinx, sorry.
Oh, I've also met
Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. Yes, as has Alan, our young streamer at
And me.
Oricon. And you were there too. But yeah, we met real life Scooby Doo. We met Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, me, you, and Alan all met him.
He gives lovely hugs. He gives
does?
lovely hugs. And
Did you slide some Scooby snacks in?
He was very supportive of John's previous endeavour. Very supportive.
Yeah, he went on the shooting range and just shot tons of Nerf because it was dead. And I'm sure he was hung some Scooby snacks because he was very huggy and friendly.
I think what it was that particular day, he had been like brought there on like a misconception. So like he was invited to be a guest at an event, and that event was really, really bad. So he had like no one. Like usually they come and get like autographs or whatever. There was like no one. Like,
If somebody,
so
if an organizer
yeah.
asks me, "Can you come to our horror event?" and I'm like, "What's the horror event? Why are you asking me? Shouldn't I be finding out and requesting to come to your event?" But yeah, we did it. It was awesome. But yeah, it was fucking
Yeah.
dead.
It was
Because
dead.
it was dead, we had guests. We had the lady from Exorcist.
Yeah.
She
It's
got
just
shot in
two.
the shot in the
just two.
face. The Nerf blaster.
Yeah.
How important-
So Matthew Lillard came
Are
over.
you talking about the little girl?
No, you're thinking about Poltergeist.
No, Exorcist.
Oh.
Exorcist 2. Exorcist 2, I think she's from.
She
Yep.
And you
played
shot
it.
her in the face.
Of
Somebody
course,
shot
yeah.
her in the face with a Nerf. It was so.
I know somebody who has a lot of Nerf guns at their house.
No,
I
so
used to trade in Nerf guns.
You've got the guy that played the monster in Jeepers Creepers, and he's a Texan.
Oh,
So he
yeah,
came
was
over.
nice. He came over a lot.
He came over. He was like, "Can I
Some
have
glasses for his
one?"
daughter.
And then the next, we did some swaps and stuff. But yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, "Can I take this over to my stand?" I was like, "I don't see why I I don't see what could possibly go wrong here. And everybody that was lining up to sign, he was just like,
Shooting them.
and then the old actress that played, she's tiny as well. She's so fragile.
Yes, she's
Get a
like
wee
4
cup
foot.
of coffee. She's like, hey, so and so, look at this. And she was like, what? And he was like, it was like, now she acted shocked and she dropped to the floor, but her left hand placed the coffee perfectly on the floor without spilling it. So
Well,
I was
actually,
like shocked, and I was
that
like,
event- that event was a failure, but for us two,
it was
we
fucking
had
hilarious.
a fucking ball. Like you actually had a
It's
ball.
fucking- You got Matthew Laird going, do you need all these
But
Nerf darts picked up?
The,
I was
yeah,
like,
the,
yeah,
reason,
just do it.
the reason he was coming over to help us because it was such a failure. The event was such a flop, and we were just directly across from Matthew Lillard. He just came over and like helped out on the Nerf range.
Oh.
It was
Oh,
great.
wow.
So
G
how
Tom Mac
much?
from Lost Boys, G Tom Mac was across from us too. Fucking that was me orgasming all the fucking week. We got oh god, the Chatterer from Hellraiser.
Voice.
He was just across. All the celebrities were across from the Nerf shooting range, and they were all so bored. At one point, it was Sunday at the Cosby competition. Matthew was like, "Nerf fight," and then before I knew
I
it,
remember them
celebrities were
shooting-
grabbing
I
Nerf
remember them
blasters.
I remember him
Two
shooting
tables were
across-
flipped over,
yeah.
and there were celebrities shooting each other with Nerf blasters. I was like,
I remember them shooting across over each other
gonna get-
while they
I'm
were
gonna get
while they were
sued.
like signing shit and
"I'm
shit.
gonna get sued." Wee lady from The Exorcist is like,
Good times.
like, G-Tom Max, like, I'm grabbing my coffee and I'm fucking up. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, no, it was awesome. But yeah, cartoon
Dreadful,
reference.
dreadful event. Good people.
Awesome memories.
And Shaggy from Scooby Doo was there.
Yeah, we got to Nerf for Shaggy.
Is he not the voice of Scooby Doo himself now? Matthew
I think,
Lillard.
I
He
think
still
that's him.
I'm sure
I
he
think-
still does like
I think
Scooby
he's
Doo
the
and
cartoon
Shaggy.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
haunt
pretty
him.
sure.
So how important is voice actors then for a decent cartoon? Do you
I think,
Yes.
well, as
Much.
Shiny mentioned earlier about Mark Hamill being her
Yeah.
Joker.
Oh,
Mark
Hamill.
Hamill's a good example of one of those voice actors that's very important to be. And
I
also,
was
people have their favorite Batman, and people have their favorite.
going to be very
characters, right?
judgmental for Skeletor.
No, Mark Hamill is he's my Joker. He just is. He's
He's the
amazing.
Joker, yeah. Another voice.
I'd go back to a childhood hero, like I said, Dodgers in the 21st House, Mel Blanc, which was pretty much Warner Brothers'
Right,
entire voice artist for that period.
Defenders
Well,
of the Earth.
We were talking about Harley Quinn, and Curtis just said Alan
Masters of Magic
Tudyk
spells
in
and
Harley Quinn.
illusions.
Yeah.
Amazing voice actor.
I know we've got a favorite voice actor sort of there with Mark Hamill, but does anyone else have a favorite?
Yep, Alan Oppenheimer, original Star Wars Skeletor.
I'm
original
with-
He-Man.
I'm going to go a
Actor.
second on Mark Hamill because everything
Mark
he
Hamill's
voices,
awesome.
like Mark Hamill as Luke Skywalker, don't give a shit. But Mark Hamill as a voice, John, calm down. Mark Hamill as a voice
Waiting for
actor,
you.
like owns every role he does. So like he could voice like Princess Elsa in Frozen, and it'd be the perfect casting. Like it'd be correct casting. Like, oh well, he did a great job.
Thing he didn't own Luke Skywalker, which I actually think he certainly did.
As a whiny little bitch.
But it's what the role needed. No, he is exactly this.
Yeah.
His character
Yeah.
progression
Oh,
is the
wait,
reason the three
Wait,
stories
you
work.
said why you little bitch? You're not getting mistaken with Anakin from
Forget
Ana-
the fact that
Anakin's a whiny
particular-
little bitch.
Look at New Hope. That's what I'm going from. A New Hope. Like
Yeah,
I-
Luke's not compared to Anakin. Luke's not a whiny little bitch. He just saw his
Oh my
fucking
God,
He
parents.
just wants the
barbecue.
power converters from Toshi Station.
yeah, I don't want to go Dutchies because of power converters. Like that guy.
What about Anakin? Oh, I'm not Jedi Master yet. Oh, I'm good enough, but I'm so powerful. Oh, I love you, Amidala, but I can't touch you. Oh. Anyway, this is for another stream.
The actor's name does completely escape
This is like
me.
content for other streams.
It's good.
Tip. Getting those in there.
The actor's name completely escapes me, but Bender from Futurama, who's now in
Yes.
Joe DiMaggio.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
DiMaggio.
Yes.
Joe DiMaggio.
He's awesome. He's
So-
fucking awesome.
Adventure Time, Futurama, current spitting image. Like, he's just so good.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The guy does Archer.
Yes,
Yep.
Benjamin, fucking hell, what's his name?
he's definitely got a voice for acting. Bless him.
Yeah.
But he sounds so.
Who's
good.
Dr. Draken? Dr. Draken's Curtis's favourite Joe DiMaggio role. John Benjamin is Archer and Robert
thank you,
Burgers.
DP. And
But,
Beth as well, yeah.
But Curtis is saying Dr. Draken? Who the fuck is Dr. Draken?
He's Dr. Draken, Chad.
Okay. Thanks, Curtis, for bringing that up, because obviously it's nothing.
What's Alex? Kevin Conroy as Batman.
Oh, Kevin Conroy. That's what I was saying earlier about everyone has a favourite Batman. Kevin Conroy was in my head, but I couldn't remember his name. That's what I was thinking of.
Good that they got Kevin Conway and Hamill back for
The final joke or whatever the
Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke, sorry.
Yeah,
and I
went to see that at the cinema on its one release.
I saw this. Oh, me too. I saw it at the cinema, and we got given a free little Joker figurine.
I have it on my desk.
Oh, I was in the bedroom. We have two.
Throw it up to the camera. There you go.
Yeah. Yes. So me and Curtis have them too from the first day release of
I'm so jelly.
The Killing Joke. There was one guy who came dressed as the Joker from Killing Jokes. He was wearing like the Hawaiian shirt and the straw hat and the camera and stuff. And that's the first time. It's the first time I ever had to see a cinema like that booed a screen. Because there's a bit, so there's The Killing Joke is the graphic novel, which is the film, but it's like double the length of that, because for the first half it's just like a story of, is it Batwoman and Batman and they have sex?
They did it, so that was comic, which is why it got so fucking booed. Like, it was completely unnecessary. I see.
So that happened, and the whole cinema just booed the screen.
The idea was that it would get you invested in Batwoman and Batman if you'd never seen anything before then. But I'm sorry, if you're going to a one-day fucking release of Batman, you must already fucking love Batman. So that was an entirely stupid plot point to put in. Meh.
My favourite is Matt Mercer.
Well,
Matt Mercer, I
really
absolutely love his voice.
He's a lot of video game characters as well, doesn't he?
He does so much video games and TV, dubbing for anime. I mean, it was.
Kevin portrayed Bruce in Arrow Crisis crossover.
See if I can pick one of the ones he's done recently.
I'll take your word
He
for
got
it.
he was the really evil. He was the really evil Batman in the Crisis crossover.
Matt trying to fix focus with his finger is a beautiful sight.
Come on, come to me.
Oh
Come to Auntie Matt.
You can see me. You can see me.
Look into the eyes. Not around the eyes. Look into the eyes. Not around the eyes. Into the eyes.
Does that work? If I'm here. No.
Yeah, no.
See, I can't relate to that because mine is completely manually focused.
I didn't
Mine
realise
works
the
on
joke.
magic.
I actually have objects around me that I sit on my chair to focus it manually.
Look at Lennis. Look at Lennis go with his fucking fucking motion tracker.
Showing off now.
Look, Sweden is the future. My whole setup is based on magic and God knows what.
Duct tape.
Sorry.
Duct tape.
Duct tape. Woohoo!
Yeah.
So
I
think it's time to start wrapping up. It's 2 hours and 41 minutes in,
and we're just falling into chaos.
And ultimately, it's at this point, it's all about if there's anything else that your community wants to discuss or anything that you yourself wants to discuss around cartoons at this point.
There's something I want to discuss with John and Shiny Cat. Is that I actually re-downloaded Dead by Daylight, so that is there.
No, we don't want to discuss that right now.
Sorry, what was it?
DC's is go watch the movie I Know That Voice that discusses all the voice actors.
Oh,
that's
what is that on? I Know That Voice. That sounds great. Because we were watching, obviously, The Toys That Made Us, which is where we realised so many of the old cartoons were because of toys. We didn't realise how bad it was, did we, until we watched The Toys That Made Us.
But it showed so many of my favourite cartoons were in it.
Also, can I just get an honourable mention for a cartoon that I used to take the piss out of Matt for watching? My Little Pony.
What song's My Little Pony?
Nothing. I now love it, but I used to call Matt a brony because I'd never watched it. I put it in the same bucket in my head as
My
Care
Little
Bears.
Pony and Friends? What the?
Care Bears for life, yo!
No.
Care Bears.
That's the pot in my my head, I put it in. I went, "This is going to be fluffy shit." And then
Winnie the
Matt was
Pooh?
like, "Please
We
watch
talking about Winnie
it."
the Pooh?
Yeah, Frenchman's Magic. Quite genuinely, there's no two ways about it. Lauren Faust may have had these ideas, but she basically went to her writing team. Hi, I need people who play Dungeons and Dragons, because you look at it, and every plot adventure is a D&D adventure with a little party of 5.
Glowworms? Was Glowworms a cartoon?
Oh,
Yep.
like the toys you got light
Yeah,
up
I
bed
remember.
light things.
My cousin
yeah.
had a glowworm.
My Little Pony.
Yeah, but my cousin had them too. I had My Little
so
Ponies.
Glowworms was a cartoon. Jesus Christ.
Shout out to Pirates of Blackwater from the 90s.
Okay.
That's a
That
good one.
thing?
God, I
Is
mean,
it? No,
nerd
I've
up,
never heard of
guys.
that.
They were a cartoon.
No.
Fuck's sake.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look at that one up as well.
Pirates of Blackwater.
God, that just tells you something that most of my upbringing was sitting in front of a fucking TV.
Yeah, it does.
It's-
Pirates
So-
of Blackwater.
Is this what I'm going to say more animation than a cartoon? But the Lord of the Rings,
Haven't
that
seen
old animated Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
from the
'Cause that had-
80s. From
yeah,
the
the
80s.
original.
That had actors though, didn't it?
That's a feature
Oh,
film. Oh, it's feature film and it's rotoscoped.
Right, so that's not.
So it's one of the first rotoscope films.
Okay, showing my age as well. Sorry, I'm
No,
21
this
by
is-
the way.
The same animating team as like Last Unicorn and things like that. Not the same people.
Ah,
But they're not
right, so-
cartoons, they're feature films. They happen to be animated. Not the same thing.
Pirates of
Okay.
Black still likes. Yeah, Pirates of Blackwater still likes that. What about
I'm not-
Around the World? Oh
so-
my God! Oh, Black Ops, you legend! Around the World in 80 days with Willie
it's Fly as
Fogg.
Fuck.
They were all
Oh
fucking
yeah.
animals.
And they're all animals. Yes.
Blacko, where have you been? You need to be on
Completely
every
forgot
street.
about that. Completely forgot about that one. That was something I watched a lot as a child. Is Around the World in 80 Days.
Because I was like I was like Musker Hounds, and I watched that as well. It was like animals being people type thing.
Was the Pirates of Blackwater also called the Pirates of Darkwater? Because that's all I'm getting from
I
1991.
thought it was Blackwater.
Pirates of
Could be
Blackwater,
Darkwater.
chat saying.
Okay, this is me trying to remember back to the 90s.
That's so weird because when I Google it, there's no results, but there is results for Darkwater.
That
And
could
there's a
be it.
logo and everything.
Alex is sending me links now. As
I wonder
well.
if the
Dear
UK
God.
version was called Blackwater.
So our chat has brought up something called The Thief and the Cobbler, which I'm not familiar with.
Oh, that
No
one does
idea.
not ring a bell.
That may be an American thing. I don't know.
That sounds like a
that's the
Genesis
case.
song. The thief and the cobbler came to.
That was going to be my next
Or
porno
classic
title,
folk.
but I'm going to change it now.
You got no lockpicks and you got no tail.
So I'm trying to
Actually,
getting lost.
Isn't that an even stereophonic song? Oh, that's the bartender and the thief. The bartender and
Oh.
So there's so many cartoons that came out. It's like almost impossible to remember every single one of them, I think.
Indeed.
What would life be like without cartoons?
Dull.
Very sad.
We'd be nostalgic about something else.
yeah.
Like a ball on a stick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you
remember
put the ball on the stick and the stick goes on the ball.
fuck, ball on a stick. What's your highest score? 34.
This stick
What?
2 years
I'm
ago, and it was
got
the best
33.
stick of my life. I buried that stick when I broke it.
I don't know.
remember,
I
Simon, the beeping toy you had to remember things with.
Oh no, the Dilbert cartoon. It had a 2-season run. It was based off the
Gilbert
newspaper.
comic book. Yeah.
Yeah, and it had a 2-season run. It was fucking hysterical because Catbert is just evil.
But the guy who writes that is a proper like Trumpian Republican right winger.
Oh shit! Because if you drink from the cup of management, you instantly become stupid.
Oh,
and it
that
did
explains
end
a
too
lot.
soon.
Uh,
Yeah.
The guy who writes it is a proper like QAnon
Oh
arsehole.
no.
Oh, that's disappointing because
It is.
only has 2 seasons.
I grew up reading Dilbert and loving it, and finding out he was such like a right wing nut.
Oh,
Was
okay.
really
Well, we've got
disappointing.
some final shout outs.
Garfield and Friends.
Thanks, Alex.
Mm,
There's a
that's another
sequel
one.
with Nemo, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh yeah.
A second series isn't to be more extra. I'd like to shout out, Black Ops, shout out Bucky O'Hare and Prince
Bucky
Valiant.
O'Hare.
Prince Valiant and
Valiant.
Bucky O'Hare. Captain Bucky O'Hare.
I was actually thinking of Prince Valiant when I was talking earlier, but
Legends of Prince
when I
Valiant.
moved to Scotland and we had BBC and ITV, when I went to primary school, I watched CITV mostly because BBC One was for like the posh kids. The
Alex,
posh
I
kids
think-
would watch Prince Valiant, but I
We
would
did-
watch like My Step Parents Are Aliens. Like that was a difference.
Look at that.
So like
We did-
the posh
yeah,
kids
we did.
would watch the shit medieval shows about princes and adventures, and I would watch the silly shows, which were essentially sitcoms for kids. And that was the
Valiant.
CITV BBC divide, I think. The Prince
You've got-
Valiant was a cunt show.
Oh, Prince Valiant available on Amazon Prime Video, by the way.
It's a
Oh.
cunt show. It sounds more like D&D.
Prince Valiant on Amazon Prime Videos, people. Watch it now. James Bond Jr., Black Ops. I think we talked about that
James
earlier.
Bond
but-
Jr. was
So did
great.
you,
It was terrible, but it was great.
Didn't watch a lot of
Thundercats.
these things like what was a lot of
Ben,
Ben
Black Ops
10 or
was
whatever it
mentioning
was
She-Ra,
called.
but the
All
new
of these sort of
She-Ra's
younger
more
ones.
anime, isn't it?
Yeah.
The new She-Ra is actually really good. If you've not seen it, yeah,
We have been recommended that on my
Yeah,
old
we
Friday
have.
D&D group.
yeah, I would definitely recommend that. It's so She-Ra's a lesbian in this one, it seems. So they've gone a bit more in that way.
There was a-
Please have stronger characters like Bo. What the fuck was Bo's deal? I've got a bow and I'm called Bo.
There
It's gonna
was
love me. Fuck you, Bo.
recent cartoon with a talking bear that's set in a national park.
Yogi
Oh,
Bear?
Yogi.
Yogi Bear?
That sounds like Yogi Bear.
It's not
It's
new.
not Yogi
It's
Bear.
not new, cat. It's been around for a while.
That's quite
No,
an
no, no,
old
no, no, no,
cartoon.
no. Not Yogi Bear. It's like the last sort of 5 years, and it's set in. It's like something Wood National Park. I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. It's supposed to be a piss take of Yellowstone
Does he
National
steal
Park.
picnic baskets?
I've watched
No.
all the new She-Ra with my daughter. I'll agree with Kat. It was
We
almost
wear
as bad
bears.
as
We bear
theirs.
bears. We bear bears.
Wear
No,
bears?
oh, do you know what? I'll find it.
Werebears.
It was like Bricklewood or something. Oh, it was really bad.
There's so many other ones I can think of, like SWAT Cats came to mind.
DC knows all the
Biker
voice
mice
actors
from
We Bear
Mars.
Bears.
Biker Mice from
Mice
Mars.
from Mars.
I had a figurine of one of the big mice, but he was wearing a baseball outfit for some reason. And you pushed his antennas and he went inside his head.
Yes, Black Ops. I did the Thundercats remix. I loved it. Again, more background with that because it wasn't just the sword that you got all the stones and stuff. Yeah, Thundercats remake. Anyone see that?
Not
Yeah,
Mm.
I did. Yeah, I did.
I liked it. Matt's
I
shaking his
liked it
head.
as well.
Because you got again, it was like I'm missing out this what they did with the second He-Man set, whatever they did with that with the new fucking thing. But the Toonami He-Man with all the background, when they did Thundercats, it was the same thing because you got like all the swords and Mum Ra before he got to the planet and all the stone. There was like a lot more going on. You got like a bigger
A bit
picture
more
of it.
clothing than the last time
it's
I
a
saw
shame
you.
that it just got cut off.
Hello, beautiful.
It's a real shame.
Sorry, it was Brickleberry, the other one with the talking bear I was thinking of.
Brickleberry.
It was like
Black
a
Ops was
3-season,
fantastic.
really
Second
sort of
season.
a kind of a
Yes.
similar vein to Drawn Together, where it was grossly offensive on many levels.
Like a Care Bears, but grossly offensive.
No, the
Care
bear
Bear
was an arsehole.
hugs.
Hmm?
Oh, what was that one? It was all about dreams. And you had like one side was dreams and sheep, and then you had nightmares. And you were driving pillows. Am I just it's getting late for
It
me
sounds
now.
like something that you've made up.
You've made up on a
Yeah.
heavy bender.
I'm old and it's real.
An actual dream you had.
I'm driving a pillow. I'll be fine. I'm staying away from the sheep.
Okay, I'll research. I'll prove you wrong. I'm not fucking mad.
There was a
On
show
this
on
topic.
Netflix which was really trippy, and it was
Alex
sort of
says he
like a
remembers it.
talk show
Oh, God.
where he's sort of, it's like a
Okay.
streamer, but he goes
Something
into sort of
Ghost.
different.
Space Ghost.
Alsolio, hello. How are you doing? How are the legends doing?
Was
We're
it
all
Space
doing
Ghost?
fine.
No,
He's
no.
like a late night talk show. Fake
So
spoof
it's
thing.
more
Right,
like
my
the guy is
chat,
sort of
my
like
chat,
a
that's what I'm talking
streamer,
about.
and he goes into different universes and encounters all sorts of weird stuff. So the first episode, he sort of
Right.
goes into a place, and it's sort of like us having a discussion, but with weird ass shit going on around him. So he's just like talking to a guy, and there's zombies attacking, and he's speaking to like and it's talking about the nature of life in the universe with this guy, and while they're fighting off zombies. So it's awesome, but I just can't remember the name on it. It's on Netflix somewhere. Well, Space Ghost is awesome. Yeah. I just can't remember what it is.
That's real life. Midnight Patrol. Hang on.
Midnight Patrol. That could be it.
Yes, Midnight Patrol. Is that it? It could have been that. That could have been it. I don't know.
Midnight Gospel is called. That's what I'm thinking.
Doing good. Need to do a podcast.
If you ever are getting wasted, and I mean this honestly, you're getting wasted. Watch Midnight Gospel.
Guys, we've got. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm going to bastardize your name. Calicio, I'm doing good. I need to do a podcast for university, and I saw you and decided I needed to be cool like John, so I came to learn. You might want to like focus on the other people in the podcast and not me, bud. And see, look at those faces. So what? So you're doing a podcast? So is this like an exam thing? Interesting. But yeah, you can watch all of our streams, and hopefully you'll pass. Please don't learn off me. Please learn off the other three.
To download as well, don't we?
Yeah, we are on Spotify. So
every month we do the salad banter hosted by Professor Lettuce Bud.
Right to do that.
Yeah, so this is pub style, shall we say?
Pub style.
The
Pub
teacher
style.
wants musica and stuff. Got cringe.
Oof.
Wants musica and stuff.
Oh, are we the cringe?
we could be the cringe.
Good.
Hey, focus.
Oh, look, it's in focus now. Look at you.
So you're not allowed to do your podcast on what you want to do. Okay, I mean,
Sorry, DC just brought up Clerks, the animated series. Yes. I really enjoyed that. That was very silly.
Is it more based on like Clerks 2, which was really quite weird and crazy?
It wasn't cringy as Porch Monkeys for Life. It because that was so bad. No, it was just a really nice nod to the first one, and then obviously it rebooted the whole Jay and Silent Bob thing, because obviously they've had a couple of films since, and one of them had one of their daughters in with cheerleaders and some other stuff. It's been
Right,
do you like how we seamlessly swapped over again?
Yeah, that was amazing, and it focused when you changed over. It was fantastic. There we go. Maybe it doesn't like Ducky's face. It just sort of unfocused straight away, like whoop. Disappeared.
Too gorgeous. Antimat's too gorgeous for the camera.
Exactly.
Camera blushed.
It's like you put
I can't.
a Vaseline filter on.
This magnitude.
The chat did get very thirsty when he came on. To be fair.
I mean, who God, I've been drinking this cider like a blooming person in the desert. See, when Matt starts streaming, I'm done. I'm just gonna be a wreck. You get a Matt's knees and a George elbow stream. That's me. I'm in heaven.
It's gonna make no sense to anyone on the podcast, and I'm really sorry.
He's a very pretty. So if you're listening on afterwards on Spotify, he's very pretty. He's very, very pretty. So
Matt's my He-Man, basically. Matt's my He-Man. He-Matt. He has the knees of power. He-Matt. With his shiny cat, He-Matt. So.
I mean, I ride Battle Cat,
That
but
makes
not
me
like
sound
that.
like a
Oh,
And it
oh
doesn't
dear.
use my kick.
I know. We're both gonna get in so much trouble. I
am going to have to end this cast now. Actually, it's coming up to 11 o'clock for me in Sweden, so I'm gonna have to wrap
You're my
up.
streaming mentor. You know I love you.
On that note, thank you everyone for participating for the 3 hours together, and I'm going to run away from this for cat hunts with John down in Scotland.
I'm moving. You'll never see this same location again now. That's coming
So
after me.
let's go around the house again. So we had A Design. Thank you very much for taking part. Shiny Cat and Shiny Ducky for being involved in today's stream and bringing your insights and your nostalgia and love for the cartoon to the stream. Wee John, as always, thank you very much for being a part of this.
Sorry.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, thank you all, and I hope you all have a good night. And
I probably
I'll
won't.
see you.
Cat's gonna
I'll
send
speak
an
to you
assassin
soon.
in my sleep for me.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Spider spiller juice. Right, I'm
Bye,
gonna go
bye.
raid somebody.